Alright, are we ready? Are we ready? Let's do this. I'm super excited for this because I had so much fun playing Ace Attorney, the trilogy. The trilogy was great. And that was 6 months ago since I finished it. So, uh, yeah, I don't know what to expect from this game. All I know is that the main character is different. His name's Apollo, I think, and I know that Emma appears in the game. Because Gab requested fan art from Angel, and she was like Emma Sky, but from Apollo's Justice, and I was like, oh. So those are the only things I know. I don't know anything else. I don't know anything else about it. No, it's not your fault. I was just watching Angel, and I was like, wait, what? That's okay. No, but those are the only things that I know. But I loved Emma from Ace Attorney 1, so it's gonna be cool. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Oh, it's really quiet. Let me know if I need to edit anything. Oh, that's too loud. That's too loud. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Playing poker? Also, turnabout Trump. Ah! Rip. Seem to be in a bit of trouble. Something like that. Dead. Someone hit him. Hard. Me? Please. The cop should be here any minute. I'm in your hands. Should it come to that. (4:20), 9:37 a.m. District Court. Defendant. Lobby number 3. Oh, it's been so long. Don't look at chat for a while. Alright. Panicked. Palms sweaty. I can admit, I'm nervous. This is Apollo. Okay, I'm guessing this is the main character. Ah, good morning. Oh, I got a good voice for him. Good morning, sir. You look tense, Justice. Wound up tight? Wound up, sir? No, I'm loose. I'm fine. Wait, is that his name? Apollo Justice? Oh! 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 That makes sense. Okay. That screeching noise. Is that your voice? I suppose it's to be expected. Your first trial, and it's a homicide, I guess. Justice doesn't start small, eh? I'm fine! I got up at 5 a.m. to do my Chords of Steel voice workout. I'm fine! Oh, that explains it. I did detect a certain rasping quality to your screech. I overdid it again. As you know, your client today is a good friend of mine. I wouldn't want to let him down, if you get my drift. Drift gone, sir! I'm all over that drift! As it happens, I dined with him the night of the murder. We can't let this case fall through. Yes! Yes! I'm fine, sir! One more thing. Don't say you're fine quite so much. People might take you the wrong way. I'll be preparing our case. You might want to introduce yourself to the client. My name is Apollo Justice. If it isn't clear already, I'm a new attorney. And today is my first trial. Not that I'm worried or anything. The defendant has been accused of murder. My boss wants to help him out, of course. And so do I. I mean, there's no way he did it. Not him. No way. This guy looks interesting. Also the game screen is a little, it's not covering the entire thing. I just realized that. Oh, it's question mark, question mark, question mark. Whoa! It's my rival from Pokemon Silver. Good, morning. Morning. It's all up to you today. First trial, nervous. Meeting him. Cardiac arrest. Exactly. Good. I think I'm supposed to say something. Help! So, you're fine. I'm fine! Ah, Mr. Fine. I knew he was gonna say that. Mr. Fine, is it? I'm giving him a... He's probably got like a really, like, raspy voice. I did remember you having an odd name. Well, we're off to a great start. Are you sure you're okay? I mean, with me? Mr. Gavin is a top-notch defense attorney. And he's your friend! So why? You'll see. Huh? You can do it. Be confident. I'm really sorry this happened to you. It's time. Shall we? Wait, so I'm about to defend him. I don't even know his name. This is gonna go well. Okay. Yes, sir! Alright. Okay, I need to focus. First trial. Here comes justice. Chat is just smiling at me. I don't know. Chat knows something that I don't. 4:20, 10 a.m. District Court. Courtroom number 2. Oh, the judge is back! Mr. Normal Judge. I've missed you. The court is now in session. What are you doing with your hair, dude? Come on! The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. Ah, he looks pretty cool. The defense is, fine. Ready, Your Honor. He's doing his best. So it's set in the future. Like, I kind of figured that based on Emma being in the game, but... Did he just not get his hair cut? Mind going blank. Don't panic. Ah, too late. Your name was Mr. Justice, and this is your first trial. Yes, Your Honor, but I'm fine, really. Are you quite sure? Your voice sounds a bit strained. Mr. Gavin? Yes, Your Honor. I was under the impression that you would be heading up this case. Yeah, Judge hasn't aged today. That was my intention, yes. However, a defense attorney must always cede to his client's wishes. And my client specifically requested Mr. Justice. Well, of course he wants justice. But to entrust his case to this greenhorn, why? Nice pun. I do not exaggerate when I say that you're the best defense attorney in town, Mr. Gavin. Okay, so Gavin's got trial experience, fine. Does he have cords of steel? I still don't know what that means. Then let's begin. The defendant may enter the courtroom. What's up, dude? This is truly an unfortunate turn of events. I'm sorry we had to meet again under these circumstances. Oh, they know each other. Long time. Is that Phoenix? Wait, I see it now! Okay. What's up, dude? I see it. Oh, it's so clear now. Cause I've never seen him like this before. What is he wearing? Like his biggest character is his hair, right, and his blue suit with his badge. It's because he didn't have his badge on. All right, that's the main reason. Long time no see, Mr. Wright. Let's put the past behind us, shall we? Okay, well, alright. Phoenix is the defendant again. It's not the first time. These days, I'm merely Phoenix Wright, piano player. What? Why did you give up being a defense attorney? You were the best. Mr. Wright, how could this have happened? This is the first case, yes. So, okay, for those of you who haven't played the previous games, Phoenix Wright is the main character in the first 3 Ace Attorneys. He's the defendant. He's the defense attorney that you play as most of the time. I didn't notice. I won't speak of it further then. If the prosecution would be so kind as to explain the charges, Mr. Payne. No, people told me to play Apollo's Justice first, and then Investigations 1, and then... To think, I saw you enter this room a fresh attorney, and now I'll see you leave in chains. I don't know why, that's what people told me, and my chat has steered me right with every other game, so I'm all good. Ah, Winston Payne. Subtle as ever, I see. The crime occurred at the Borscht Bowl Club, a Russian restaurant. The defendant, Phoenix Wright, took the victim, a customer, and he hit him, wham, on the head, smack, killed him cold. A customer at the restaurant, you say? And the defendant, you say he was? This is a cool theme, I haven't heard this before. The pianist for the club, it seems. Phoenix Wright. A pianist? This is the weapon that took the victim's life. A bottle of grape juice. I could probably turn it up a little. Grape juice is apparently a defendant's drink of choice. Grape. The court accepts the deadly. This is what everybody loves to drink when they go to a club, right? Grape juice. Court accepts the spot. Alright. I don't know the controls on Switch, so... Something to note, Justice. But I'm guessing the game will tell me. All evidence is filed in the court record. Make a practice of checking it frequently. The court record. Right, I've heard of that. Use the court record button to look at the evidence so far. Oh, I could touch it here. Right. Smith's autopsy report. The time of death was around 2 AM, April 17th. Death caused by single blow to the forehead. Oh my god, how much I missed this so much. Let's check. Interesting. Shady Smith. What a great name you have. Cerebral hemorrhaging resulting from blunt trauma to forehead. Photos 1. The sub-basement at the Borscht Bowl Club. Touch the check button. He died from trauma to the forehead, but he still had his hat on. Okay. And it has his fingerprints on it. Great. It's the best. $32. Christoph Gavin. Boss at Gavin Law Offices. A first-rate defense attorney and my trusted mentor. 33. Yeah, this is like 8 years in the future? 9? I forgot how old he was. Pianist at the Borscht Bowl Club, formerly an ace defensive attorney for some minute. Shady Smith, the victim in this case. Traveler, only recently back in the country. Senor Payne. Prosecuting attorney. For all his experience, he lacks a certain presence. That he does. Oh yeah, sorry, I wasn't actually asking about how much further into the future it is, but I think it was about 7 or 8. Right. I'm confident in your ability to handle this. Right, the court record button. Sounds like it's time for some hands-on action. So, the victim was a customer at this restaurant. But just who was this, Shady Smith fellow?
We believe he was a traveler, Your Honor.
A traveler?
According to his passport, he had been out of the country for a number of years. He had only returned to this country recently,
though his place of residence is unclear. And he had some sort of connection with the defendant?
That, too, is unclear at present, Your Honor. We believe they first met at the Borscht Bowl Club on the night of the crime.
Yo, what's up, Peaky? Good to see you. If they had only just met, then why murder? That's a good question. Perhaps the victim slightly... That's we're trying to figure out, Judge. Perhaps the victim slighted the defendant's piano playing.
That doesn't appear to have been the case. No, the motive had nothing to do with the defendant's lack of playing skill. Wow. At least not piano playing. I'll let this photo explain what I mean.
I know, right, PQ? Have you played AJ before or seen it before? I'll let this photo explain. What does he mean? What is this photo? Oh, it's the photo that I've already looked at here. Right, they were playing poker.
A game of poker was in progress at the scene of the crime.
Wait a second. Isn't poker gambling? That's a crime in and of itself.
Indeed, it appears our defendant has fallen to become the basest sort of criminal.
That was a cool objection. It is true that the defendant was engaged in a game of poker with the victim. Yet, it was only a game. In the purest sense. A competition, Your Honor.
Competition?
Oh, I see. Yeah, it was the first thing I noticed. Also, I didn't notice it was Phoenix until they said his name, and then once they said his name, I was like, oh, it's... Just didn't notice. Yes, test of wits. A silent clash of passion. Only the cards, their backs wreathed in blue flame. No, it's fine now. Come again.
The cards on the table had blue backs, Your Honor. I believe the defense was waxing poetic in an attempt to mystify those present and impress women.
That will be our first order of business here. To find out more about this fatal game of cards. Oh, I was gonna say to impress women. Phoenix is smiling. Very well. Defendant, you will testify to the court about the poker competition held the night of the crime. My pleasure. This is it. My first trial. Here goes nothing. Oh, it's been so long. This testimony of the game. I am a pianist by trade. Yet I can hardly play at all. My real job is to take on interested customers over at the poker table. The room where we play in, and the competition in there, are the club's main attraction. The rules are simple. We play a game of poker using 2 decks of cards. That's all it is. A game. And our customers are happy. Pianist who can't play piano.
Better than a defense attorney who can't defend.
Wow. Low blow. Very well. The defense may begin the cross-examination. Right, Your Honor. My first cross-examination. Don't blow. Are you alright? You're sweating bullets. Bullets? Where? It's a figure of speech, Justice. Your voice sounds strained and raspy too. My brain feels strained and raspy, sir. You've watched me perform cross-examinations many times. Though you've never done one yourself, have you? Care for a refresher? think I've heard this song when Pies played Mafia. What to do? Should I ask Mr. Gavin for a refresher course in cross-examination? I like that thinking first. I mean, I don't know if it's new to this game or new to the series, but I'm gonna press it just in case. Like it tells me about the controls or something. So let's do that for now. Better safe than sorry. Exactly. Especially this early into the game. Yes, teach me. I don't know nothing. Okay. Indeed, your job, Justice, is to be mindful of the court record and the testimony. Look for inconsistencies in the testimony with what the court record tells you. When you found an inconsistency, that's when you present the conflicting evidence from the court record. Okay, it's just telling me how the game works. But I didn't hear anything strange at all in the testimony just now. Good sign that you need to press the witness for more info. Press him? Press. Don't let the fact that he's a remarkable man hold you back. Get more information. But isn't Mr. Wright my client? Well, you think you can do it? Yes, thank you, sir. I think I can do it. I think you better, or we're gonna have a problem. Just remember, find any inconsistencies, any lies in the testimony, and reveal them to the court. That is cross-examination. Learn it, know it, do it. Inconsistencies? Lies? Phoenix Wright? As if Phoenix Wright would never lie. Of course, he would never lie, and it's up to me to prove it. The defense may begin the cross-examination. We have never lied to the court. Ooh, that's cool. Oh, this is cool with the 2 screens. I'm a pianist by trade. Yeah, I can hardly play at all. You can hardly play? No, I played the trilogy on the Switch version, so I've never seen it in the dual screen setup before. So this is kind of cool. Oh, I play sometimes when customers demand it. So I play them one song. That's usually all they want. That's supposed to be a boast just now? The title of pianist is a mask, a respectable face I wear for the world at large. Then why are you really at the Borscht Bowl Club? My real job is to take interested customers over at the poker table. Went from being the best defense attorney to a poker player. They pay you just to play poker? That would seem to be the case. I'm a professional after all. Yeah. I'm glad you like it. I could put it over the chow, but I don't want to put it over the chow. I could try to make it like a different color. People shouldn't be spoiling anyway. It's okay. It's okay. I think it should be fine. I can try to put a border over it. Yeah, I haven't done that before, but we can try it out. there no... Here it is, here it is. Oh great, a white border. That's just what I want. Better? Awesome. I don't know why I haven't done that for the last year, but it's okay. That would seem to be the case. I am a professional after all.
Bah! Do I detect pride in that statement? It's just hard for an honest, hard-working member of society like me to imagine.
Payne, can you just... Okay? Yes, your imagination was always a bit limited, Winston.
What?
I played poker for 7 years in that little room, and I've never lost once. So at least 7 years. Never lost? Why were we a defense attorney? What? You see why the customers come now? Defeat the undefeated poker champion. It's quite a draw. That is, I'm quite a draw. Wait, you've never lost once? Not even one time? What's up, mister? Good to see you. As I said, I'm a professional. You played poker for 7 years and not lost once? Dude, that's kind of insane. Is that even possible? The room where we play in the competition in there are the club's main attraction. Can I look at evidence without presenting it? Yes, okay. Yeah. Not sure what differences are in this version, but I imagine. Yo, what's up, Aspar? Good to see you. The 2 decks of cards. Alright. I'm just looking. The room in the crime scene photo is an attraction. It has quite a history, actually. The Borscht Bowling Club used to be a gathering spot for black market types back in the day. But black market? All in the past. Things like the black market are only on a silver screen now. Suffice it to say, there were lots of deals being made under the table. Oh yes, sorry, I always mention this at the start. If you guys want to talk about this game, if you know about this game, and you want to talk about different parts that you liked about the game, I have a spoilers channel in my Discord that's free for anybody to join, whether you're a sub or not. It's titled Video Game Spoilers. Just make sure you tag all your spoilers with the spoiler tags. Someone will show you how to do it if you've done it. You can talk about different parts of the game, which cases you like, and because there are a bunch of people in my chat who've played it before. Love to talk about it. Probably talking in there right now. Yo, Quando! Thanks for being subbed for 11 months. I hope you're doing well today. I appreciate the support. It's good to see you. Thank you. Nice. Telling? Right there in that room. A smoky gambling hoods. Just looking at this picture makes me feel bad. His bosses gather around the table, cutting deals, safe from the eyes of the law. Meanwhile, a goon keeps watch through the small window. I can practically picture it now. That window does look like it would be good for keeping a lookout for little ones. The room had a few other tricks to it, though it was common knowledge to our regulars. Yes, Quando! At any rate, they come to play poker in a room steeped in history. Despite the dark part, it was all just good, clean fun. Using 2 decks of cards is interesting, because that's not usually how you play poker, so I'm curious about that. 2 decks of cards? A simple measure to prevent cheating. If you alternate 2 decks, no one can slip in cards. Ah, okay. Alright. Fruit.
Something else I noticed. In addition to the cards on the table, there are some lying scattered on the floor. Precisely. Cards on the table, cards upon the floor. Each one forming a complete deck. A crime scene painted blue by a sad sweep of cards. It's poetic, really. Incidentally, we used two types of cards in the deck. One deck of cards was red, the other blue. As I recall, in poker you make 5-card hands. I can see how it would be easy to cheat. Yes, a game of hands. Question mark. Oh, hello. I had more statements I needed to press, but okay. This competition you're talking about. I believe the court understands the nature of this game. Sufficient. That's right! It was a simple game after all! Are you sure? Huh? People are not murdered over simple games, Mr. Justice. Defendant, you were in the room the very moment that the crime occurred. Yet you claim no connection to the crime? Now that's strange. What's strange? I was testifying about the competition that night. Asking me about the crime at this point is against the rules, Your Honor. Of course. I expected to hear a cry of objection from the defense. Oh, being mean to us. Ah! I completely let that one slip by! Don't despair just yet, Justice. Sir? Right. There's something I'd like made clear. Namely, your connection to the case at hand. I'd like to hear it from you. Sure, why not? It's weird seeing Phoenix all cool and calm, because usually he's not like this. It's so weird, but also cool. Like, he looks really cool. You good, Angel? Enjoy the luck. Sure, why not? Very well. The defendant will amend his testimony. Just one little press. I've got myself a whole new testimony. You never touched the murder weapon! Aw, Phoenix. Aw, Phoenix. Bears the defendant, Mr. Wright's prints. Objection! So you say you didn't touch the murder weapon? This grape juice bottle? Right? So I said. Something the matter, Mr. Justice? Please don't do that again. Too bad on you, defense attorney. Never learned how to play dumb. What's this, Mr. Payne? I examined the bottle in question, you see, and it was covered with the defendant's fingerprints. Action! No need to shout, Mr. Justice. I can hear you just fine. Wait, does it say how old I am? Oh, I guess I'm not on a profile. Okay. Not yet. Excess yelling can damage the judge's ears and our case. But what about my cords of steel? Anyway, what's so strange about fingerprints on a bottle in a restaurant? Well, that's true. The prints alone don't prove he did it. Missed that objection. Oh, they wouldn't prove a thing if they were normal fingerprints. Huh? But the fingerprints on the murder weapon were upside down. Right, so it held it like that. Upside down? What does that mean? It means he was holding the bottle invert, and there can only be one reason for that. I hate it. Yes, to brain someone with the bottle. Ah! Mr. Gavin, I think things just took a turn for the worse. Oh, I see.
I see. Oh, I see no problem, Justice. Huh? The only thing that matters is the truth. There's a good reason for everything you see. Defendant, can you explain your fingerprints on this bottle to the court? I stand by my plea of silence regarding the murder. For now. Not very cooperative, are you? This could hurt your case.
I'm sure he's uncooperative because he's hiding something. There must be some reason.
I like Christoph's. Your Honor, you seem to have forgotten something. What might that be, Mr. Gavin? On the night of the crime, who was it who reported the murder to the police? Reported?
Well, that was the defendant, Mr. Wright. But still, that...
Really?
Yes. Well, according to the case file, the murder was reported from near the scene by a call from the defendant's cell phone.
Near the scene?
Let's take a look at the diagram of the murder scene, shall we?
The victim was murdered in a small room in a basement 2 floors down from ground level.
Of course, cell phones get reception so far down. Oh, can't get reception so far down. The defendant used the stairs in this hallway to go above the ground.
Okay.
The call came from the first floor of the restaurant.
That piano have goop on it. I see. And this is the phone that made the call. Alex, minute is evolution. Oh, now I'm so curious about what happened to Pearl and everybody else. I'm curious. I mean, just Phoenix. I want to know what happened. The defendant could have just fled the scene of the crime if he so chose. Yet, he fulfilled his duty as a citizen and reported it to the authorities. And you claim he is being uncooperative? Nice save, Mr. Gavin. I better not waste this. I think the prosecution has toyed with our client enough for the time being.
Toyed? I assure you, no one is more serious about...
What was it you said? The defendant was in the room the very moment that the crime occurred? How could you possibly know this?
That's a good question. How indeed?
The answer is simple, Your Honor. The prosecution has a decisive witness.
You're as good as they say you are.
So someone else was in the room the night of the crime. That must mean they witnessed the crime. Or everything up until now has been a warm-up, Justice. Are you ready?
Very well. The prosecution may call its first witness to the stand.
Oh, that's the wrong voice, sorry. Hello.
The witness will state her name and profession.
Hold on just a moment. Where's the witness?
I surmise that she has been frightened by the defense's demonic-looking horns.
Excuse me? I think his hair looks cool. So I used a little hair gel. Relax, people. Have no fear. If any horns point in your direction, I think it's cool. We'll cut them off. You are sure?
I swear it on my gavel. Please, come on.
Isn't violence against hair a crime, Your Honor? Well, if you are sure it's okay. Must be hot. Take a picture. Wait a minute. Take care, Kwanda. Would the prosecution care to explain the witness's paraphernalia?
Yes. She is a professional, Your Honor. Those are merely the tools of her trade.
And that would be? My name is Olga Orley. I'm employed as waitress. Oh, okay. I can't do an accent. I'm sorry. I am employed as waitress in Borscht Bowl Club restaurant. Then, why the camera? Of course, it is my pride to serve borscht at his naming restaurant. But I also perform, how it is said, other service. Excuse me? I take it one of these other services is taking the customer's pictures. Like, for example, this one. Oh, hello. Oh, it's snow. Ah, okay. I was like, why is there like weird candle wax goop? At least I think it's snow. That's the defendant!
Indeed, on the night of the murder.
Man in white hat is one who has gone kaput. Indeed, that's the victim. Order! Order! This is quite a piece of evidence to casually drop into our laps. It is same way as I drop cold balls of water onto laps of customers, casually. Then the court will casually accept this new evidence. Alright. Look. And the bottles by Phoenix. 4 of them. Is that the same chair that he was in? Interesting.
Now, witness, where were you at the time of the murder?
I was in room, the hideout, we call it. Nice name. Excuse me, the hideout? It is room where famous gangster, bad guy was arrested. It's room where murder took place. One thing I missed is that nice picture. Your look of utter surprise. It is lovely. I missed the characters' names. I will post my courtroom door later for you. Photo will be numbered, and you will write which ones you want copy of. What's up, Elzazo? So there were 3 people in the room at the time of the crime: the victim, Shady Smith, Mr. Wright, and Olga Orley, our witness. And if Mr. Wright isn't the killer, that means I can't. You don't want me to do a Russian accent. It's not going to sound very good. Very well, witness. You will testify to the court about that night's events. That night, customer asked me to deal cards for game. It was cold. Both players with hats on, The victim, he plays whole time with his hand on locket at his neck. Then, last hand is done, but something terrible has happened. Oh, oops. The man flew at him and is strangling him to death. Need a voice call for this? It's not a bad idea. It's good. Need more of me in the frame. Incidentally, who won the game?
Isn't it obvious? The winner was the victim, Mr. Smith.
Objection!
Here's a good objection. Like,
That's ridiculous. Because Mr. Wright can't lose.
Justice. Maybe you can come up with a more legitimate objection.
But he hasn't lost in several years. Take it from me, kid. It happens. I didn't lose a case my first 7 years as prosecutor either. Incidentally, I have some evidence here.
Hello. It looks like a full house. It's kind of blurry, but it looks like 3 Kings. Interesting. Can't tell what the backs of the cards are.
These are the poker chips as they lay the very moment of the crime.
Why is this one in color but the other one is not? I mean, I'm guessing the color is going to be important for the color of the cards. But...
The hand and chips on this side belong to the defendant, Mr. Wright. Those on the far side belong to the victim, Mr. Smith.
Chips, you say?
I mean, yes, imagine that poker is war. Your hand is an army, and the chips are the spoils.
I know that. After all, in my youth, I was known as the poker head of courtroom number 3. I think he means poker face. Looking at this picture, it does seem that most of the chips are on the victim's side of the table.
Chip photo. The chips? You mean potato chips?
Very well. The defense may cross-examine the witness. So is that how it was in the this is an actual question. Is that how it was in the first 3 games? Where on the bottom screen it shows you versus the prosecutor? Cool. I don't like that. That night, a customer asked me to deal cards for game. Ah, right. Well, both players played with hats on. Da! The victim, he plays the whole time with his hand on his locket at his neck. Last hand is down, but something terrible has happened. Da! That man flew at him and is strangling him to death. Wait. Didn't he die from the blunt force trauma to the head? This one. Got him. Oh, really? Strangled, you say? That's odd. Duh! Normal customers only choke on borscht. No, I mean this report shows that the victim died to a blow to the head. Miss Orley. Really now? Oh, Miss O'Reilly. Oh, really? I don't know. I'm just gonna say Orley. Really now? Did you witness the crime? Eee! Oh, she's got good hands. Looking at the picture, it doesn't seem like he was hit. Yeah, that's what I was saying! He still has his hat on! Yeah, Judge!
Yes, it is a fact that he was hit, Your Honor. Here's a photo we took of the victim with his hat off during the investigation.
Oh, so somebody just put his hat on because they wanted to cover it up. Well, that's quite shocking, isn't it? This head certainly was hit! But I have seen it happen! The defendant, he lunged at victim, his neck! Oh, really, Miss... okay. Oh, really, Miss O'Reilly? I think I've caught you in your own lie this time. Justice. I admire your enthusiasm, but perhaps you should think this through once more. What do you mean? I found a contradiction! There's one thing in a testimony that troubles me. Very well. It seems we should continue the cross-examination. Okay. Such a thing as thinking too much. His horse is dead. Let's stop beating it! Such a thing as thinking aloud too much, too. Allows me to deal cards for God. While both players with hats on. Hand on his locket. His locket? I believe it was a good luck charm. He gripped it many times as he played that night. Yes, He must have felt as though it might carry him to the moon and the stars. Did he have it on him? He didn't. Doesn't have it on here either. But he has it on here. Wait, isn't Phoenix wearing... Wait. I need to look at Phoenix again. I swore... Oh, was Phoenix wearing a locket? I thought he was. But I can't remember. I think he was. I need to look at him again, but I can't. Anyway, he's not wearing it here. Is the important thing. Though if it was small enough to fit around his neck, it would have too much lift. It wouldn't have much lift. The defense would like a clarification. This is a locket we're talking about. I mean, a pendant with a picture in it, right? Not a rocket. Well, Judge, come on. Of course, I knew that. It was probably a pendant shaped like a rocket. That's why she called it that. No, a locket's a locket. It's considered bad form to poke fun at the hard of hearing in our society. Hard of hearing, or hard of understanding. So what happened next? Oh. He tried to hit him with the bottle. You didn't say anything about hitting before. Sorry, I must be forgetting this. Duh. Witness, you will take greater care with your testimony. Oh, duh, I'm sorry, Your Honor. And that clears up the discrepancy with the autopsy report. The defendant meaning to strangle his victim and changed his mind, and chose a simpler, blunter method to do the job. Don't worry, my galaxy brain overthinks things all the time. It's not just Ace Attorney, it's happened in Zero Escape and Danganronpa. Especially in one instance with toilet paper. Yes, that sums it up nicely. So he strangled him, then hit him. Something fishy about all this. Go ahead. I believe you know what it is you need to do. Right, sir. Leave it to me. Those were the only 3 people in the room at the time of the murder. The victim, Shady Smith, Mr. Wright, and if Mr. Wright isn't the killer... I've got you now. Oh, really? See, I don't think he has the locket on, but I think that I want to present it here that he doesn't have it on. One of these. I guess this one is clearer that he doesn't have the locket on. But I really want to look at the main thing is I want to look at Phoenix again and see if the locket that's here is the locket. I can't. It's kind of grainy. I can't see. Is the one that Phoenix is wearing. Anyway, let's try this. Objection! You know, there was one curious part in her testimony, just like Mr. Gavin said. When the music stops, I missed it. What does it mean? Mr. Justice, would you care to explain what it is you're so intensely thinking about? Recall the testimony, Your Honor. The victim played with his hand on locket at his neck, I believe she said. I hope you aren't about to raise an objection to the witness's grammar. No, but look at this photograph. Look at this photograph. Do you see a locket on the victim's neck?
Well done, Justice. I'm impressed. I knew... A phrase is forever ruined. I knew you'd be able to handle this. But what does it mean? Oh, it's not Nickelback's fault, it's the internet's fault. If we are to believe this witness's testimony as is. Then the locket disappeared following the victim's death. I'm sure Phoenix was wearing a locket, right? Lockets don't just disappear, Your Honor. It's quite simple when you think about it. If the locket is gone, someone must have taken it off, no? Taken it off? Wait, you don't mean the defendant wasn't strangling the victim at all? He was taking off his locket! Wouldn't that explain it? Oh! I can imagine Akuro. Defendant, what do you have to say to this? See? I knew I wasn't seeing things! I saw it. Phoenix. If you murder someone, leave the evidence at home, okay? Yes. I just noticed this, but... You have something hanging around your neck, don't you? Oh, you mean this? Yes, it's a locket with a photograph inside. A photo of my daughter. Excuse me? Come again? Dude, Phoenix has been busy in 7 years. He lost his job as an attorney, became the world's best poker player, and then had a kid. Mr. Wright, you have a daughter? We confirmed it at the time of the arrest. The picture in this locket is indeed Mr. Wright's daughter. So, Mr. Wright has a locket too. Why don't I buy that this is just a coincidence? I mean, it's no way a coincidence. Well now, if the result of this poker game led to the murder, are we not going to check inside the locket? Okay. Perhaps we should hear a bit more about the outcome of the game. Okay. We're just going along with the fact that Phoenix's locket has nothing to do with Shady's locket. Alright. The testimony won't really be necessary. It's clear that the defendant lost. Badly. Miss O'Reilly, you will testify to the court about the game played between the victim and the defendant. Duh. Ooh, no. Serious competition. The game began with 3,500 points in chips for each man. House chips come in 2 sizes, small and large. The one who was winning, duh, it was victim. For last hand, defendant play with all chips on table and lose. The moment loss was decided, defendant grabs bottle from table and... Indeed, looking at this picture, does seem to be a one-sided game. As the court knows, poker was the defendant's life. I know we have at least one Russian viewer, and that's Tommy. What's up, Melters? Good to see you. Failure must have been a bitter pill to swallow. Oh, how many times have I heard these words? I done it in a fit of anger, Your Honor, and now I regret what I done. Oh, he was trying to be, like, gangster, I think. A comment here, but true. Methinks the judge watches too many old court movies. Mr. Wright said he hasn't lost in 7 years, so this testimony must be wrong. He really believes in Wright. $1,500 points. Are those the usual starting points? Were any special rules used? No, not special. Usual game, usual rules. Each man began with 3,500 points. Then the total would be... exactly 6. No, 7,000 points. Please, this isn't calculus. It's not even long division. We got it right in the end. And who is winning? Who's victor? You're telling me that Mr. Wright, undefeated for 7 whole years, was losing? Ah, it must have been the most unlucky day for him. I am glad I did not take out the picture of him. It would break camera, certainly. The chips, they went always to the victim's side of table. So you're telling us it was a one-sided game? What's up, UK? I'm enjoying it already. No, one-sided, and... should press. Here comes justice. Yeah, I'm not seeing enough Inquisitive Boy in chat. Where's it? All the chips on the table. Loses. Last hand? Oh, last hand? Yes, Wolfie, thank you. It was largest points of any hand. The defendant's hand. It was excellent. He tried to use it to take victory from behind. Is that both the defendant and the victim's hands are in the picture? Right. It is truly an excellent hand, however. So is the victim's. One with the highest number wins, so defendant loses. The victim, Mr. Smith, had a stronger hand than the defendant and crushed it. I believe that explains what occurred next. Once cards laid down on table, it happened. And what happened next? What did you miss since the start? So we are Apollo Justice. That is our name. This is our first case ever. We're young and we're being mentored by like a very experienced defense attorney named Christoph. This guy was the murder victim. His name is Shady Smith. He was playing a poker game against Phoenix Wright, who we've never heard of before. And Phoenix lost, and apparently, he's being accused of killing the victim because he lost. And this girl witnessed the killer. Even to think of it now, I shake and tremble. I did not believe such thing would happen. What such thing? Please, you must believe me. I had no idea. How could such thing occur? What such thing? The defendant had been hitting victim. Duh! I saw it all happen right before me. I saw bottle coming down on victim's head. Decisive, isn't it, Your Honor? My witness saw the very moment of the crime. The first goal is to get... Oh, okay. What? I'm busy.
was the only thing I haven't pressed on. I'm pretty sure. Are the chips in this photo all the chips that were used? Duh, of course! Something's fishy with these chips. I don't know if that's supposed to be a pun or not. Should I press harder? Yeah. Maybe you could explain a bit about these chips. Explain? What is there to be explained? Stop doing that, I can't take you seriously. I mean, I never could take pain seriously.
Poker chips are poker chips. They're not fish and chips. Not a chip of the old block, not a motorcycle cop. Not a...
Thanks. Now I've pressed a better ask us. What are these chips worth? Are they in dollars? Or rubles, even? Yet, as I've been saying before, it was a game, not gambling. Yes, it was a pun. Perhaps for capitalists to understand. 2 types of chip. 100-point chip and 1000-point chip. It is not money, duh. Justice. Sir! Don't you find that comment interesting? Yeah. So 2 types of chips, which you see in here, but this is supposed to add up to 7,000? I don't think it does. There's too many of the large chips. No, there's no way it does. More ways than one, sir. I'll have it added to the testimony myself. Well, does the defendant want the witness to add her? Yes. I have an objection. Yes, I do think this deserves further scrutiny. Add it to the testimony. Wish I knew where I was going with. Don't worry, Apollo, I got you. Very well, witness, if you would be so kind. Duh, Your Honor! One kind of chip is worth 100. The other... yeah. And there were... well, I mean, I'm supposed to combine this with the fact that she said there were 7,000 in total. But I think this should be fine. Objection! You're sure it was the victim who won? Absolutely sure. It seems our new attorney is a bit confused. At glance, at the picture, is enough to tell you who won. If you're not in kindergarten. Just for safety's sake, could you explain the problem to the court? Of course, Your Honor. In this photo, I see small chips and I see large chips. Tell me, which were worth 1,000 points?
Why, the big ones, of course. Duh.
No. Oh, I thought so too. But then the totals don't add up.
The totals?
That's true. Are we about to do maths? Apollo is about to add up some stuff for us. Each man started with 3,500 points in chips. And the combined total value of the chips was 7,000 points.
Yes, if my calculations are correct. Let's see.
3 plus 1, carry the 5. They are, Your Honor. Now look at this photo that allegedly shows all the chips. All the chips. Yeah. If the big chips are worth 1,000 points and the small chips are worth 100 points, you add them up. Can we do it? I mean, I already it's fine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10. 1,600. Wait, carry what? Do it yourself. You're not in kindergarten, are you? 10,600 points. The chips don't add up. This clearly contradicts the witness's testimony.
But why? How could this be?
Exactly, Justice. Now that you know the what, you must determine the why. There's only one possible way to explain this contradiction. I wanted to say, I thought they were going to give me the option to say that the small chips were the 1,000. I'm guessing that's what the second one is? When they say chip count? But I think chip count is the number of chips, which are the same. Which means that both of these are right. I think. Each man began the game with 3,500 points each. All the chips are indeed shown in this photograph. There can only be one answer. Well, what is it? The value of the chips was the other way around. That's what I thought it was going to give me, but I guess it wanted me to.
What?
Want to know what I think?
The small chips are worth 1,000 points, not the big ones. Madness! Utter madness!
Show me that photograph of the chips again. There are 6 small chips and 10 large chips. Why? That does make 7,000 points when you add them up. Wow, he did that quickly. When it took him ages to do 3,500 times 2. Excellent work, Justice. It's almost as though you figured it out by yourself. I'm just glad I was the one who said it.
But wait!
The value of the chips may be different.
But that changes nothing!
Indeed, the victim did have the larger number of chips still. Yeah, but didn't have more chips. They didn't have more points. We gotta teach them how to play poker. Oh! Exactly. The small chips are 1,000 points, and the large chips are 100. Let's do a little math. Add up the points for each side of the table. The victim, Mr. Smith, had 2,900 points, and the defendant had 4,100 points. Well, it seems that Mr. Right was winning that night after all.
That's impossible.
My client has even less reason to kill the victim. After all, he was winning. I mean, not after this hand, though. Unless this is after the hand took place. But if it's before, then he's just lost 2,100. I don't know. Need more information.
Yarg!
Now, Miss Aurelia, you must have known the true value of the chips. Oh, you must never have known the true value of the chips. Since you were there at the scene of the crime, weren't you?
Ah! Eee!
Wish I could do that. Order! Order! It appears our defendant has lost his motive, and Mr. Wright's supposed defeat never happened.
Yeah.
We must now ask ourselves whether we can trust him. Hold it. Excuse me? What is it, Miss O'Reilly?
I did not want to be saying this, but actually, you see, see what, Miss O'Reilly? What do we see?
In the last hand, there was cheat. A cheat? You don't mean a trick? What do you mean? A scam! They're all the same thing, dumbos. Yes, there was a cheat in the last hand. I can't do a Russian accent, I'm sorry. You want to put it on stream? Sorry for no Russian accent. That is why game ends with chips as they are. Great, that's great. First, we have line. Now cheating. Well, this case certainly is taking a turn. For the interesting. Witness, you will please testify to the court. Tell us about this cheating in the final hand. The last hand, both men had full house. There is 4 of each card in deck, from ace to king. If you look at both men's hand, cheat is more obvious. They both had full houses? That's not what the photograph shows. Oh wait, no, they are 7s. Okay. Never mind. I just couldn't see the numbers properly. Because I thought it was it was 7s and 8s. He took bottle in his hand. Poor Mr. Smith. Mister, really? Why did you not tell the court about this from the very beginning? I thought I smelled a cover up here. Well, folks, it's time to throw back the covers. A full house is a very high-scoring hand. Not easy to make, in my experience.
That alone is enough to suspect less than scrupulous tactics.
Mr. Gavin? What's a... Mr. Gavin, what's a full house?
Lawyers these days. You don't know your poker.
I thought poker was illegal! Can't say this bodes well for your case, or career. What is this? Some kind of secret court poker ring? Justice. You know the terms 1 pair, 2 pair, and 3 of a kind, yes? Yeah, it's explaining what full houses. Yeah, no problem. 2 cards of the same number make a pair, and 3 make a 3 of a kind. Good. Now picture a hand with 1 pair, and 1 3 of a kind. That's a full house. Doesn't sound very easy to make, does it?
You can see each player's hand in this photo.
They both have full houses.
We forget. There's an easy way to make a full house. And go undefeated for 7 years. You cheat!
The defense may cross-examine the witness. If he did cheat in the last hand, that leaves one important question. Mr. Wright lost that hand. Who's ever heard of a professional conman losing when they cheat? Last hand, both men had full house. There is 4 of each card in there. Mr. King. How is it clear? Well, the defendant, he plays a 5th ace. A 5th ace? I still remember both hands very well. Mr. Smith's hand had 3 aces. And Mr. Wright's 2. I thought there were 2 different decks.
Obviously, cheating was afoot, or perhaps I should say a hand.
Well, I guess they switched them out, but it's not hard to, I guess if they were just using, if the decks got muddled up, that must have been what happened, right? Question mark? VR, thanks for being sub for 62 months! I hope you're doing well today. Appreciate the support, it's good to see you. Your Honor, perhaps this can be added to the testimony without Mr. Payne's joke. Very well. The witness will add this detail to her testimony. Please. Did I have something said about 2 decks? I mean, the photograph just shows that the hands are different. They're like different full houses. Like, she said 3 aces? So it just changed in the photograph. I think that might be what they want me to present.
The fact that it changed.
I hate Omaha High-Low. PLO is fun, but Omaha High-Low I can't. I guess this, because like she's saying that there were 5 aces, and there's 4 here. But it must be. I don't know. I don't know what. I don't know. Yeah, must be this. Let's do it. It appears the witness is mistaken. Mistaken? But my name... Look, this piece of evidence clearly contradicts what you said in your testimony. Look at this photograph. That's the photo of the chips, is it not? Justice. Perhaps you ought to explain your point in a way that the judge can comprehend. In other words, use your finger to point out your point. Point out the contradiction. I like his thinking buzz. Wait. I'm getting mixed up in my own head. Which one was which? Wait, what? Wait, what did she say? She said the victims. Well, yeah. It's this one. But the picture showed 3 aces and 2 sevens. So I'm a little confused. But I'm sure she said victims, right? Okay, I'm going with my gut. She said victim's hand. So, which is this one. What? What? That's what I did the first time! Okay, whatever. Confused, but whatever. Okay. I'm very confused as to what happened. Just like, I'm pretty sure that's what I chose the first time.
Well, or maybe the witness was simply confused. Perhaps it was the defendant's hand that held the 3rd ace in question.
Take another look at the evidence. As you can see, the defendant's hand also had 2 aces in his hand. Where's the 5th ace? I see cheating, alright. And it's going on right here in this courtroom. Two aces in each player's hand does make 4 aces in total. Hardly proof of cheating. Wait, please! It is true! I have seen it! The 5th ace! There was cheating! I swear to you! It's odd. She must be lying, yet she's the most sincere I've seen her all day. You're right to trust your instincts.
Mr. Gavin, who knows what lies in store for us in the trial ahead? Your Honor, if I may, I have a suggestion. What might that be, Mr. Gavin? If you don't mind. Perhaps you might examine the actual card. The cards? Mr. Payne. Yes? The player's hands that night were set aside as evidence, were they not? The defense would like to request that the cards be shown to the court. Very well. The prosecution will submit this evidence, which you will examine. The victim's cards, or the defendant's cards. These cards don't prove cheating was going on. Nothing will. Victim's hand. Because that's the hand in question. It was the victim's hands that changed over the course of the witness's testimony. The defendant requests time to examine Mr. Smith's cards. Very well. Mr. Payne, if you would. Very well. I want to see the back! Why let me look at the back of the cards? I don't care about the front. I know what's on the front already. I'll look at the back. Time's a waste. Get to it, Justice. Yes, sir. Oh, what's happening? What's happening? Examining evidence. Be sure to view it from all sides and angles. Try using the dials on the evidence. Oh, okay. That should give you a better perspective on the case. Okay, let's do this. Oh, baby! That's what I wanted to see. That king doesn't look like it's supposed to be there. Oh, you can zoom. This is gonna be fun. Okay, I'm zooming. I'm making sure I want to choose this. What? Your Honor, look at this! One of the victim's cards! The back is a different color! That's impossible! But I put that card in Wright's hand. What was that? What was that? What was that? Excuse me? What was that, Miss O'Reilly? Yeah, I mean, I have eek. Your Honor? Mr. Gavin, yes. Tell me, what is the easiest way to cheat at poker? To cheat. I'll tell you. It's to hide an ace. Or... yeah, I guess. I said O'Reilly, didn't I? Oh, I said O'Reilly. One merely needs a friend. Comrade, shall we say. The dealer. Ah, okay. Manipulate the deal. Wait. So you mean this witness, Miss O'Reilly? She's the cheater. A professional, I'd wager. Yeah. Order! Order! Focus, Justice. Time to take advantage of her. I mean, of her mistake. Your Honor. Please recall the testimony we just heard. It's impossible. No, put that card in Wright's hand. Ergo, Miss Olga O'Reilly conspired to cheat. Not with the client, but with the victim, Mr. Shady Smith. Not only did she cheat, she cheated poorly! Therefore, it's not hard to imagine an altercation between her and the victim. What? Wait, you don't mean the defense isn't accusing the witness? Miss Olga O'Reilly, are you? Time for justice! This is gonna say that a lot. There were 3 people in the room at the time of the incident, and if Mr. Wright isn't guilty, that means I am. The defense accuses the witness, Miss Olga O'Reilly, of murder. Yink! Oh, she died. The plate still landed up miraculously.
Mr. Payne, where is your witness, Mr. Olga O'Reilly? Miss Olga O'Reilly.
It appears she has, lost, consciousness, Your Honor.
Mr. Justice, Your Honor. It seems that you presented a new possibility to the court, one suggesting a connection between the witness and the victim, Mr. Smith.
And that means?
This court cannot pronounce a verdict for the defendant at this time.
What?
I did it! I held out! I see no point in prolonging the trial this day. Prosecution will need to make further inquiries. Oh, that was Phoenix. I recognize that objection anywhere.
Mr. Wright!
Can't end the trial here, Your Honor. Not yet.
What nonsense is the defendant spewing now?
Think. One of the cards had a different colored back. But you wonder what it means?
What are you doing, Mr. Wright? Raising objections right when you're about to get off the hook? Ridiculous!
Mr. Payne, you of all people should know. Mr. Wright has a talent. For the ridiculous! That's true. Perhaps we should get to the bottom of things. Let's clear up the facts about this game that fateful night. As was said before, we alternated between two decks of cards that night. I like having Phoenix on the screen. I didn't think he was actually going to be in this game.
That was said before.
The two decks of the club have different colored backs, blue and red. One color per deck. Why use different colored backs? We use the same color, the two decks might get mixed. You use different colors and they still got mixed up. We used the red deck for the last one. I see, but that's odd. For some reason, I have this impression that you were using the blue cards. Yeah, me too. I'm sure someone said something about blue cards. Yeah, it's Christoph.
Whatever. In the end, one card of the wrong color got into the mix, which means there was cheating.
Yes, a card slipped into the deck. It seemed to indicate cheating. This card raises two serious questions. Apollo?
Yes?
Let's consider the first question, shall we? In the last game, when was the card swapped? When? There are three broad possibilities here. Could have been swapped before the murder, during the murder, or after the murder.
Well, yeah, thanks for the news bulletin, Mr. Wright.
Oh, it might be as simple as you think, Mr. Payne, or it might not be.
Yeah.
I'd like to hear what Apollo thinks first. When do I think the cards were swapped? Can we rip his hair out? Kind of want to. It's really hard to look at. When was it swapped into the deck? I'm trying to think. Can't be during the murder. But the thing is, it can't be... like, someone would notice, right? If it was done before and they were just playing with it. So it must have been after. At least that's what I'm thinking right now. But it's the must be after. Must be after. The simple answer is that it must be after, right? Because if you're playing with a red deck of cards and you just pull a blue card and you're like, oh, this is normal, it's gonna look kind of weird. So it has to be after. Has to be after. Perhaps it happened after the murder.
What's that? Ridiculous! What's the point of cheating after the hands have been shown?
Yeah, but
That's silly.
it must be to. Okay. Yes, but tell me. What's up, Lee? How do you swap cards during a game? I'll take silly over impossible.
Take it from me, son. There's a lot of silly in this world, but very little impossible.
Oh, even when the backs of cards of different color? If you pull that during the game, you'd be caught in no time. Exactly! Apollo agrees with me. Ah. Quite true. That would mean that the blue card in question was swapped after the hands were shown. After the murder. Does Phoenix agree with me? I don't know what Phoenix is thinking, to be honest.
Wait, this is going past silly and straight onto crazy. Ask again, what's the point of cheating after the game's over?
It must be to change the evidence in some way.
Who would do that?
Who indeed? It's one of the mysteries before us. There's another, yes, a simple yet decisive question must be asked. Who swapped the red card for a blue card? Who? The game and murder is done. The victim is dead. Only two remain in the room, alive, that is. The defendant, Phoenix Wright, and our witness, Olga O'Reilly. Okay, so who was it that swapped the red card for a blue? Well, the thing is, Olga seemed really surprised at the fact that it was in the victim's hand. Nice, Lee. I hope you enjoy it. But why would Phoenix swap it? Someone else? Who else is there? You do, Godot? It couldn't have been... It couldn't have been Olga. Because, like, she seemed surprised. But what was the point of Phoenix swapping the card? So, like, the logical answer is to choose someone else. Yeah. But who else is there? Like, these two don't make sense to me. Mysterious third party. Unless I'm not thinking about something properly. The one who swapped the cards wasn't Mr. Wright, of course. And, well, it doesn't seem like it could have been Olga O'Reilly, either. But what are you suggesting? It's hardly a logical conclusion, I'll admit. As the defense, I think it only makes sense for you to name Miss O'Reilly at this point. Yes, I know. But she was the one who dealt the cards, right? I just can't believe she would make the mistake of swapping the wrong color card. The card was swapped during the game. It'd be obvious. Something you'd like to share with the court, Mr. Wright? Oh, my apologies, Your Honor. I was just thinking how much fun all this is.
Not allowed to have fun! Fun? How about confusing? I have no idea what the defense is claiming, Your Honor. If the one who swapped the cards wasn't the defendant, and it wasn't Miss O'Reilly, then who was it?
Yeah, well, that is the question, isn't it? The only other person who mentioned cards was Christoph, but be kind of sucky if our mentor is the murderer. Precisely. Huh? I believe we're about to see this case take a new direction. A new direction? We'll find that indeed after the murder. Someone swapped one of the cards in the victim's hand, and that someone made two critical mistakes. I'm sure you're going to tell us that the first one was swapping the wrong color card, because the one who did the swap didn't know two colors of cards were being used. The other mistake was the number on the card. Right. The person replaced the fifth ace with a king. I'm sure whoever swapped it wasn't expecting there to be a fifth ace after all. All they knew was that the game had been won with a full house, so they picked up a king from the table and swapped it in.
But there's one problem. According to our case record, this person doesn't even exist.
True, not until now, since you have to admit the possibility of a fourth person, though it's more than a possibility. The only other person who mentioned blue cards was Christoph, right? So if Christoph thought that they were just using blue cards, then he might have just been like, you know, swap this card with this one. I don't know why. There was someone else there that night at the scene of the crime.
What?
I believe the judge spoke truthfully earlier. You do make trials. Ridiculous, Mr. Wright. This trial has proceeded on one central assumption, namely that at the time of the incident, there were only 3 people in that room. I believe this new evidence, shall we say, overturns that assumption. The problem is that you chose to conceal this information from the court. I suppose that is a problem, yes. He's so cool! Like, yeah, I suppose, whatever. Court is adjourned for a brief recess. Mr. Gavin, I'll see you in my chambers during this recess. Certainly, Your Honor. Very well. The trial will resume in 20 minutes. He is really smart. He's so smart and acting cool, being like, I mean, I didn't commit the murder, so whatever you want to do is fine with me. I'm just gonna tell you like it is. That was quite unexpected, Mr. Wright. To suddenly claim there was another person at the scene of the crime like that. I must ask, is it the truth? Well now, I think you would know the answer to that. Oh boy. Ah, being mysterious, aren't we? I think, yeah, something's going on with Christoph. Sadly, I have no time for mystery. I only ask that you leave the defending to your defense in the future. Otherwise, I cannot guarantee the outcome. I see you haven't mellowed out one bit, Christoph. Justice. Yes, sir! The judge has summoned me to his chambers, so carry on without me. It was me and Phoenix. You did well, Apollo. Can I ask you something? Sure. That locket you wear, is that really yours, Mr. Wright? Ah, you're wondering about the victim's disappearing locket? Here, you can take a look at it. That's a picture of my daughter in there. I mean, he does have a hat that says Papa. So I don't know. That also says, oh, emoji. I'm just surprised to hear that you had a daughter. Yeah, you and me both. Most people are. Perhaps you'll meet her one of these days. One more question. The one who cheated that night. Was it you? What do you think? Why are you answering my questions with questions, dude? Come on, when Edgeworth did it to you, you hated it. Huh? You know what happened 7 years ago. What I did. It's not unreasonable for you to think I might cheat. I never! Honest! But it is odd that he managed to go undefeated for 7 whole years. Want to know something? There's only one game where you can be dealt bad cards all night and still win. Poker. Huh? You see, poker is all about reading your opponent. In that way, it's a lot like a court case. Poker is like trial law. Figure out what your opponent is thinking, and you win. Well, yeah, but that's harder than it sounds. Think not. Try as they might to conceal it, everyone reveals their true thoughts in the end. Their body language can become a valuable source of information. You're kidding! Witness, for instance. Miss O'Reilly. She would touch the back of her neck during certain parts of her testimony. Did you notice? No. Come on, who noticed that? Words, habits, twitches. It's all information for the reader. That's the secret to winning Apollo. Someone taught me, and now I pass the secret on to you. But I'm not worthy. I mean, there's no way I'll pick up on these signals. No, you can do it. Huh? You just don't know it yet. What's he talking about? But you will, soon. Ah, almost forgot. One more thing about this case. You should know, I haven't told the truth to anyone. What? Oh, Phoenix. You knew it. I had my reasons. All shall be revealed. This sounds like a certain character in a game I very recently played. I just lie, because I have reasons. It'll all be revealed in the end. And Apollo, I need you to be there, defending me. I need your power. My, power? I have no idea. I had no idea my cords of steel were that special. It's time. The real trial begins now. Do your best. To be continued. Press start at any time during the game to save your data. Oh, cool. .20, 12:14 p.m. District Courtroom number 2. I like Apollo too. I think he has room for growth, and I'm excited to see what he grows into. Count will now reconvene. It's okay, they tried. As a witness, is Olga really recovered? Yeah, that's because most typos don't really matter that much. They don't make a difference.
Yes, Your Honor. Well, she's regained consciousness.
Perhaps we can hear her version of the events again.
That's the thing. You see, she's quite fatigued.
You're looking a bit fatigued yourself, Mr. Payne. Sadly, fatigue is insufficient grounds for refusing to testify or prosecute. No, this is the official game.
The defense would like to request that Miss O'Reilly would take the stand.
Very well. This will take the stand. Perhaps you could repeat your name and profession. Or perhaps you'd rather admit that you're a poor liar and a poorer loser. Wow, that's just mean.
No.
Hello.
Name's Olga O'Reilly. That's the truth. I'm a pro dealer. You could call me Olga Quick Fingers O'Reilly.
Was she always wearing lipstick? Oh really? Want to know something else? I'm not really Russian, and my last name sounds like oh really. There, that's the truth. I hope you're satisfied. Oh really? Witness, you will tell the court what you were really up to that night. Fine, I'll talk. We had a plan. See? Let me remind you that you are currently under oath. Any further fabrications will have serious consequences. Fine. Looks like she's... It looks like that's a Yu-Gi-Oh card around her neck. It's because of the graphics, but I know it's not. Like I said, I'm a pro. That guy Smith hired me to do what I do best. I was planted at the Borscht Bowl Club several days prior to the night of the game. Think of this image. As a waitress. So you were in cahoots with the victim. Not that he needed my help. Smith is a well-known poker player. Giving her the wrong voice. Not that he needed any help. Smith is a well-known poker player in some circles. But winning wasn't the main purpose of this game. It was about destroying a legend, the unbeatable Phoenix Wright. The plan was simple, elegant really, you see. We set up a trap of sorts. I was to plant a card in Wright's pocket beforehand, and then deal 5 aces during one of their games. When their hands were revealed, Smith would call him out and search Wright. He would then pull out the planted card, and the trap would snap shut. Exposed as a cheater, and losing on top of it, it would have made a great double play. So if I did a fake Russian accent, it would have been accurate. I don't know, maybe she could do a better Russian accent than I can. Just like that, the legend would be dashed to pieces. Indeed. Getting caught red-handed and cheating would cast doubt on all his prior wins. A 7-year legend, destroyed by one little card. That was the plan. Oh really, oh really? How droll. But it appears you've made quite the mistake. A mistake? I agree. The trap was elegant. And what happened to that planted card? Hey, that's right. He's lucky. I'll give him that. You'd have to be a slip-free for... You'd have to be a slip-free from a... Oh, sorry. You'd have to be to slip free from a trap laid by Olga Quickfingers O'Reilly. Okay, I can read the sentence. Colbert, thanks for being on for 2 months. I hope you're doing well today. I appreciate the support. Good to see you. Thank you, thank you. The witness would be much cuter if she dispensed with the evil mastermind shtick. Cute? Who wants to be cute? I'm not cute. I'm bad, you hear me? Bad! When you're through being bad, perhaps you could testify to the court. Tell us about this trap and how it was sprung. Being bad is the new cute. That night, I planted the card like I was supposed to, and Wright lost the last hand, just like he was supposed to. Then Smith searched him. But the planted card was gone. The trap failed. Next moment, Wright picked up a bottle and swung it. It wasn't me who hit Smith. It was that no-good cheating defendant. A surprisingly frank testimony that still leaves us mostly in the dark. The trap was perfect, I tell you. Perfect, if that rotten cheater hadn't messed it up. Look who's talking! Testimony, for what it's worth. It's all yours, Mr. Justice. Witnesses like her, who needs criminals? With defendants like Mr. Bright, who needs prosecutors? At night, I planted the card like I was supposed to. Right, lost the last hand, just like you were supposed to, and Smith searched it. Once the card was gone. Where'd it go? The card disappeared? Yeah, my trump card, the 5 of hearts. Gone, without a trace. Poof, Zippo! We searched every nook and cranny, even inside his cute little hat. But the card was nowhere to be found. Is this correct? Never in my long, storied career, never has Quick Fingers O'Reilly been so readily duped. Oh really? So what did happen to that 5 of hearts? Don't look at me. Why don't you ask that cheating, lying, two-faced defendant? 5 of hearts is still missing in action. Next moment, Wright picked up a bottle and swung it. Oh, no. Wait, isn't that a little odd? What's odd? You searched Mr. Wright, thoroughly, and found nothing. Which means he didn't cheat, which means he had no reason to strike the victim. What was that? I was like, oh, it's okay to look at chat, and then I heard a heartbeat and I looked over at the screen. What was that just now? I sensed something. Something wrong, Mr. Justice? No, nothing, Your Honor. What to do? Should I press her a little harder? Kinda worried, but let's do it. Miss O'Reilly, you're hiding something. What are you talking about? You... Me? Quick Fingers O'Reilly? Hide something?
The defense will refrain from baseless accusations.
I'll have one question for the witness then. You say you saw the moment the defendant hit the victim. Is this true? Of course it's true. I did see it. Honest. I saw it when Wright hit him. What is... My own eyes. I saw it. This time I was ready for it. But I'm guessing, like, he can sense when someone's lying or something. This weird vibe I'm getting. That witness, for instance, Miss O'Reilly, she would touch the back of her neck during certain parts of her testimony. Ah, okay. Ah, okay. Touching her neck, was it? This is cool. This is freaky. What's going on? Touchscreen is freaking out. I hope you guys can read this. The sensation, it's coming into focus. There, that twitch, it's so clear. It's like I could perceive her habit, like I couldn't before. You can, okay, cool.
Gotcha!
Oh god, Jesus Christ. Okay. Perhaps you are unaware of this yourself. Unaware of what? That was cool though. Gotcha! Whenever you get to a certain part of your testimony, you touch the back of your neck with your left hand. My neck? So what? What indeed, Justice? I hadn't noticed anything of the sort. When she says that part of the testimony, she's subconsciously recalling something. Her body reacts to the memory, and she touches her neck. I'm sure of it. A memory? Would someone care to explain what he's babbling about? This is highly unusual, but let's ask the defense. You claim that the witness is remembering something. Maybe we have evidence of this memory to show us. Her habit is scratching her neck whenever she talks about the moment of the crime. So, what will remind her of the moment of the crime? Miss Aurelia, whenever you recall the crime at night, you scratch your neck. I've noticed it happens when you think about the moment of the crime. There must be some reason behind this habit of yours. I believe the weapon that left an inerasable impression on... I believe the weapon that left an inerasable impression on your neck is this. The bottle, maybe? Angel! Thanks for the host. You went to stream? Thanks for the host. You're great. I hope you're doing well. Oh, you streamed while you lurked. You're the best. You're the best. Hi everyone from Angel's stream. Did you know that she did this layout for me and it's awesome? And today is the first day I'm using it and I love it. Enjoy your food, Angel. I'm guessing they want me to choose the bottle here. Hi Viv, good to see you. Oh, this is cool. Yes. Yes? Did I get it right? Whenever she talks about the moment of the crime, she touches her neck. And what reminds us more of that moment than this bottle? The murder weapon! But something doesn't fit. If you were only witness to the crime, why would that make you touch your neck like you're in pain?
What's he talking about now?
It was Mr. Smith, the victim, who was hit. Not you!
This is a cross-examination, not a cross-wild conjecture. The witness's habits, they're completely irrelevant.
Justice. I'll admit, I'm a bit confused myself. This is certainly a unique cross-examination. I'll explain later, just trust me. Now's our only chance to break her. Miss Aurelia, please testify in detail about the moment of the crime. The very moment.
Yeah, I am knowing nothing.
We know you're not Russian. The witness will testify. Please, now. Why did she change it? How did she get the clothes on that quickly? Well, fine. He's the one who did it. I didn't let him out of my sight until the cops got there. Testimony. Oh, same testimony. Yep, okay. No names. Gotta be a contradiction. I didn't let him out of my sight. You seem uneasy. You try sitting up here. Her eyes are darting all over the place. It must be getting warm. After the crime, what was the defendant like? Well, he must have been stunned by the weight of his crime. He sat in a daze at that table until the cops came. Wait, no, he made the phone call, didn't he? Yes. Aha. Intriguing. I believe you've drawn all the testimony. Yeah, I got it. It's flawed. Basically bogus. It contradicts the evidence. What's that? It's fine. Well, show us this evidence, Mr. Justice. This evidence that you claim contradicts the testimony. She didn't let him out of her sight until the cops got there. I know there's some evidence that contradicts that. Finally, I'm gonna do some health. I get it wrong. But this is right, I think. Miss O'Reilly, we have a record here that the client that clearly contradicts what you said. It states that the police were alerted by a report from the defendant. Yeah? And we know that the defendant left the room, climbed the stairs, and made that phone call from the first floor of the Borscht Ball Club. Yeah. So, explain how you kept your eyes on the defendant when he left the room entirely. Wait, what? The man who picked up a bottle and swung it that night wasn't the defendant. Oh. Ooh. What's happening? Just then, Smith grabbed the bottle from next to right. And he hit me! He hit her? You! Some master of cheating you turned out to be! Oh. Okay. When I came to, the victim was already dead. Is that it? Why are Phoenix's prints on the bottle then? And not his? That's why I couldn't reveal who I really was. If it came out that I was in league with Smith, I'd be a suspect for sure. He drank a little, yeah, too much grape juice could do that to a person. Well, where does this leave us?
Madness! This is madness! I'm dreaming! It must have been me who was hit with the bottle, and I'm imagining all of this.
It appears our prosecution is at its wit's end. And frankly, I can't blame him. Mr. Gavin, what do you think about this turn of events? Mr. Gavin, sir? I believe that, as the defense in this case, we are compelled to call Miss O'Reilly a big, flat liar. What? 3 were in that room the night of the murder. The defendant, the victim, and her. And she has a motive. A motive? Her plot foiled. The witness got into an argument with her client, Mr. Smith. And the denouement of the argument was murder. What? I didn't! I'm no killer! It's a trap! Someone's trying to frame me! I can't say words. That was probably like What tangled webs we weave when we practice to deceive. Phoenix has never said something cool in his entire life. In 3 games. So entangled, we catch ourselves in the process. Mr. Wright? Such a hasty conclusion. It's not like you, Christoph Gavin. He said some weird stuff. No. He says some cool stuff, but not that cool. It's a different kind of cool. It's like he's so cool right now that it's just weird. It's not like you, Christoph Gavin. What are you saying? Why not consider the other possibility? That there was another person in the room at the time of the murder. Right, like Mr. Wright was saying before recess, a single card was swapped into the victim's hand after the murder. And the one who swapped the card didn't know 2 colors of cards were being used. A 4th person.
Ha! His theory again. Your 4th person doesn't exist.
Indeed. That's why I decided to bring this case to court. Here, where there's no escape and no chance for deception. Oh, he's gonna target Christoph. The perfect place to catch the real criminal. The real criminal? And we're in luck. A clue to the real criminal's identity was kindly provided for us, right at the beginning of the trial, no less.
What?
Apollo, perhaps you know what I'm talking about. Sorry? Sorry. Remember what I said. The 4th person who swapped the cards made one critical error. He or she wasn't considering the colors of the backs of the cards. Right. But how could such an obvious mistake occur? The cards used for the last game were red. Yeah, he's gonna bring up Christoph. I see. This picture has a blue deck of cards here, and the cards are face up. So, Apollo must have called Christoph, right? In order to take this case. Christoph came down to the scene, saw this, and switched the card. And he was like, oh, the blue cards, let me get the blue card from the deck. Sorry, I meant Christoph. Phoenix called Christoph, okay? But why? That is the question. Why would he do this? No. Phoenix called Christoph, I said. You don't know what I'm thinking anymore? So the 4th person must have been someone who was at the crime scene. And we know that Phoenix called Christoph in order to take the case. So Christoph must have come down to the crime scene. Seen this. He must have seen this picture. The one that's on the... Sorry, I pointing downwards. This picture here. Saw that there were blue cards and then switched the card out. Now why? I don't know. Since when is Christoph involved? I don't know. Since now. But it looks like that's what Phoenix is alluding to. But why? He must have some relation to this case. In like, more than just this. Okay, hopefully I made myself clear. Yes, and Christoph mentioned that he thought the cards were blue. I remember that. I had that impression too. But why? Well, Apollo, think you can figure out who it was?
It's not me, I swear!
Who is this 4th person? Why do I always get put on the spot like this? Let's hear what the defense has to say. Who was it? Who thought the cards used in the final game were blue? Inquisitive boy. I think I got it. And my trusted mentor, who I'm throwing under the bus. As I expected. Your eyes and ears are as sharp as your hair. I was right? Christoph Gavin, you were the 4th person that night. But of course Mr. Gavin knows the color of the cards. How would he? As you can see, the photo of the crime scene is black and white. You can't tell which of the cards are blue, The ones on the floor or the table. But look! You can see the colors in this photo! Yes, but when he said the cards were blue, it was well before this evidence came to light. Yes, he mentioned something about blue flames and whatever. Only the cards, their backs wreathed in blue flame. No, it's final outcome. Trying to sound cool and just played himself instead. What's up, Taka? Hey again, Quanda. Come on, Christoph. Mr. Gavin. Mr. Gavin, is something the matter? No, nothing. Excuse me. It was just so sudden. Right. You aren't seriously accusing me, are you? Oh, Christoph? You know, even I'd never take a joke this far. This is gone beyond ridiculous. Beyond dumb. This is insanity. The defendant accusing his own defense attorney of murder? I assure you, I'm quite sane. But what possible connection can Mr. Gavin have to the victim? Doing Payne's voice for this long? Usually the first case is fairly short, so I don't have to do Payne's voice for that long. But doing Payne's voice for an extended period of time is hurting my throat. I am in pain. But what possible connection could Mr. Gavin have to the victim? I wasn't aware that I had a connection to Mr. Smith either. Yes, but Mr. Gavin and the victim have never even met! Well, what if they have? Huh? There is a possibility, after all. They may have met that night, before the game started. What are you suggesting? Rule discussion. If a mod deletes a message, I'll say it once. If a mod deletes a message or times it out, it's probably because they're just playing it safe and just want me to make sure that my experience doesn't get changed in any sort of way. So don't worry about it. We're all good. Just enjoy the game. Is this the truth Mr. Wright was staying silent about? No. Only one thing to do. Mr. Wright, the defense would like to request that you testify to the... Yo, what's up, Mustache? Good to see you. I know, I really like it. The defense would like to request no such thing. Mr. Gavin, testimonies must relate to the case. How could anything happen before that game of poker be related? Why is he smiling like that? I'm not sure I follow, Mr. Gavin. As I explained before, the defense believes that Miss O'Reilly... Am I to assume you'd speak for Mr. Justice in this? He is the defense, not you. Mr. Justice, the matter of Mr. Wright's testimony is up to you. Oh, okay. Ooh. Is the court, in your opinion, need to hear Mr. Wright's testimony? Heck yeah, we do! This was Mr. Wright's strategy. He was planning this all along, and I intend to see it through. It's not even a choice. The defense would like to request that Mr. Wright testify to the court. And to you, Justice? You would betray me, your teacher? You probably committed murder, dude. I'm not trusting you anymore. I'm sorry, Mr. Gavin. This isn't about loyalty. This is about the truth. Very well. The defendant, Mr. Wright, will take the stand, please. Appetite before murder. Okay. That evening, Christoph and I had dinner. We sat at the table in this photograph. Wait! You didn't think this was important information? Okay, okay, Phoenix. This is your strategy. I'm just letting you do what you want to do. Okay. Shady Smith walked in 5 minutes after Christopher. Who took the photo? Olga. I I believe. Oh, really? When the trap failed, Smith hit the waitress. The girl was knocked out cold, and Smith was uncomfortable. I left to call the police. When I returned, he was dead, blood streaming from a cut on his forehead. That's when I made another phone call to defense attorney Gavin. Right, that's how I thought he called in the in the intro. Mr. Gavin, you were at the Borscht Bowl Club the night of the murder? I dine with him rather frequently.
And he talked to the defendant on the phone directly after the murder?
Quite against my will. I had become involved in a murder. But I might be in need of a lawyer, so I called him. You were planning this all along, weren't you, Ryan? Just because you wanted to drag me into your little murder trial. The only thing I want is the truth. As I did back then. And now. I thought my office was doing you a favor when we took on your defense. It appears that I was wrong. Very well. Defense may cross-examine the witness. Justice. Sir! He's lying, and you're going to expose him. Understood, sir? Mr. Gavin versus Mr. Wright. This can't end well. Why can't I have a normal trial? It's cause he's cooler, Booper. That evening, Christopher and I had dinner. We sat at the table in this photograph. Lady Smith walked in 5 minutes after Christopher. You had dinner with Mr. Gavin? Yes, he dines with me at the Borscht Bowl quite frequently. We were enjoying a usual dinner at our usual spot. As usual. Usual. I always eat at the table closest to the piano. I see. Where Mr. Smith was sitting.
So, the plates and such on the table were from your dinner?
Indeed. The remnants of my meal with Crystal. We dined for 2 hours, and Crystal left after that. Hi Boopa, hope you're doing well. 5 minutes after Crystal. Okay. Then Smith hit the waitress. Tell me about this. About this failed trap. Is this the same trap that Miss Olga O'Reilly mentioned? Right. So I still don't know where this card went, the 5 of Hearts. Yeah. Then deal 5 aces during one of their games. When their hands were revealed, Smith would call them out and search right. He would then pull out the planted card and the trap would snap shut. You swap the cards. Just like that, the legend would be dashed to pieces. Yes, a harmless prank, in essence. It was by a quirk of fate that I happened to discover it. A quirk? I happened to put my hand in my pocket and found a card. Oh! Oh! So Phoenix was the one who found it. So Phoenix has it. The card she planted! Yes, I snuck a peek at it and found it was the 5 of Hearts. I had a feeling something might happen, so I disposed of the card. Before the game. Disposed? Where? There was an empty bottle of grape juice that I had been drinking right beside me. I threw the card inside the bottle. You threw it inside the bottle? Interesting. An empty bottle of grape juice. Yeah, it must have some sick aim. The murder weapon? So that's why his handprints are on it. Yes, I rolled it up and shoved it in. The colored glass makes it hard to see. So it's just been there the entire time. Battle of wits between the deceiver and the would-be deceived. It's hard to see. Prince is still upside down. Sounds like terrific drama. Card inside the murder weapon. That's strange. Did the police miss it in their investigation? Maybe I'll take a look. Alright. The poker head of courtroom number 3 approves of this battle of wits. Oh! Oh! Maybe I need to actually look at it. Can I open it? So, the bottle is completely empty. Oh, okay, it is completely empty. Okay. So this is not the... Oh, sorry. This is not the bottle he put it in? Or somebody removed the card? Please revise your testimony with this new information. What is happening to the audio? That's weird. One sec. Okay. I discovered the trap during the game. I suppose to fit card in the bottle. I want to use my capture card, but I can't. Hopefully I'll get it fixed by next week, so we can do the rest of the game with on console. Dispose of the card in the bottle. But the bottle is empty. Why in the bottle? Perceive my opponent's intent immediately. Used to entrapment, you see. I knew it was coming. Oh ho! So you struck first. I like that. I know every trick in the book. They don't work on me. At least, when you get lucky and stick your hand in your pocket, they don't. I'm gonna try this. I'm not super confident. I mean, it makes sense. The bottle's empty, and he's saying he put it in a bottle. But I mean, there were more than one bottle there. So I don't know if it's just his fingerprints are on this one. I don't know. Let's try it. Objection! The music stops. Mr. Wright, if I may. Yes. I've examined the bottle, and I don't see any card in here. No? What, Mr. Wright? Surely, ... isn't all you have to say for yourself. I can't say that I know what happened to the card. I did put it in that bottle, however. So he did put it in that specific one. Perhaps a fifth person came and took it out. Oh, and a sixth person could have helped. Mr. Gavin, Mr. Wright is your client. Trying to get cheeky. My apologies, Your Honor. We wouldn't have you disparaging our investigation either. We looked inside that bottle. There was nothing. What's going on? Mr. Wright hoodwinking us again? Or did the card just disappear? In any case, please continue the cross-examining. I'm afraid the decisive contradiction calls for decisive evidence. Oh? Push him harder, Justice. Break him! It's just you and the witness in the ring. Go for the KO! Ugh, why do I have to get the feeling we're not on our client's side anymore? Oh, still on testimony. And when you returned, the victim was already dead. Yes, I'll admit, I was a little startled when I walked in. Oh, little? What's up, Minnie? Thanks for the good luck. He was bleeding from his forehead after all. Guess I'd be startled too if I walked in on a scene like that. He's lying. Expose him. Now! Yes, sir! I think it's Mr. Wright trying to tell me with this testimony. The truth is to be in there somewhere. Put audio again. Made the call to the police from the first floor of the restaurant, correct? Exactly. Cell phones don't get a signal down on the hideout. Anyone else on the first floor at that time? Yeah, so I have a physical copy, and I have a DS, and I have a DS capture card, but it wasn't working when I tried it. So as a backup, I got an emulator version, so that just in case, because I really wanted to stream it today. So right now I am on emulator, but I do want to get the capture card working. Hopefully by next week. We'll see if I can do it by tomorrow. Yeah, it worked yesterday. Worked well enough to take a picture. So I'll replay the first case on the DS. Yeah, it's not a big deal. Like, I'd rather play on the hardware, especially because I have the game itself. Yeah, I'll play it offline to catch up, don't worry. Because I'll have plenty of time during the week. I'm only going to play on the weekends. Was anyone else on the floor at that time? Not a soul. It was the middle of the night after all. So there, in the darkened restaurant, I called the cops. After making the call, I returned to the hideout. It didn't seem right to leave the injured waitress alone. Could you explain why you called Mr. Gavin? I obviously got involved in a rather sticky affair, and I figured Christoph's law office would give me a friend ring for my defense fees. Oh, glad to hear you intend to pay. Oh, I'll pay you in full, Christoph. It was I who got you involved after all. You may find the price of your defense quite high, my good friend. Is this the truth that Mr. Wright was talking about? No. Dang it, I have to present something because I pressed on everything. But I already presented the bottle! Why do I have to present two things? We'll go before that. What do you say here? Oh wait, didn't that picture I said this at the beginning. It's had his hat on, right? Yeah. If this is how the scene was, how would he have been able to see this? think. I already presented the bottle. Yeah, they had to remove the hat during the investigation. I want to see it. So how did he see the blood? Unless he was the one who put the hat on his head afterward. On the DS capabilities. Sorry, yes. I'm glad I could do this with everything. Oh, okay, not everything. Can't analyze the autopsy report to update it. Oh, what's this on the back? Oh, is it just tape? Wow, the batteries are held in with a piece of tape. You should just buy a new one. Maybe he can't afford it. Maybe he just doesn't care. Alright, thanks. Definitely good. If he's won at poker for 7 years in a row, he could definitely afford it. Hi, Mr. Ma. Go away. I think it's this. I'm gonna try this. Objection! Mr. Wright, if I may. Yes? Take a this photograph of the crime scene. See the victim here? He's wearing a hat. I wouldn't think you could see blood on his forehead. Good point. Ooh. What's your counter to this, Phoenix? Justice! Next time you point out inconsistency, put a little more oomph into it. Mr. Wright, can you explain this to the court? Ah, I forgot to mention something. I was the one who put the hat on his head. I knew it! I knew it! I knew it! I knew it, Phoenix! You? You put the hat on the dead man's head? He wore it through our entire poker game, after calling the police when I returned to the scene. His head was in full view. Shining bright, just like in this photograph. And I picked his hat up off the floor and put it on his head.
Why did you do a thing like that?
Have a good night, Joey! See you soon. All I can say is, I'm sorry. But that's the only thing I touched at the crime scene. Why would you do a thing like that? Oh, I'm sorry. So, Mr. who really didn't see it? It being the victim's, his head? I think she was out cold. I believe I was the only one who witnessed his head. Ah, here we go again! Mr. Gavin. Pardon. It just seems that our client is determined to lie his way through this case. Hey, he's still our client, isn't he? Yeah, GBS. I believe that's enough of that. Mr. Gavin, this witness's testimony is more like a travesty. It's riddled with lies. I'm beginning to see how you came to lose your attorney's badge 7 years ago. But you certainly have a unique way of treating your clients, Christoph. I never knew. I believe it was you who threw the first stone. Mr. Wright, if you'd intend to ever tell the truth about this case, it's now or never. Don't be misled. I haven't told you a single lie here. But you said you'd lie. I don't know what to believe anymore. Huh? When I noticed the trap, I put the card in the bottle to dispose of it. And when I put the hat on the victim's head, let's just say I had a reason for doing that as well. Reason? That reason is right here. Your cell phone? That night. Recall that I spoke with the defense attorney, Gavin. after calling the police. Just in case, I recorded our conversation. What's this? Now that we're all here, I see no reason why I shouldn't play it back for the court. You can't record someone without their consent and then just play it, use it as evidence in court, Phoenix. Well, I mean, I don't know. Maybe you can in Ace Attorney. It's fine. Sorry. Krista, I seem to be in a bit of trouble. Oh, that's true. He did. Yeah. But you can't do that. But it's the Ace Attorney one. They can do whatever they want. Krista, I seem to be in a bit of trouble. What's this? A game not going well? Something like that. A gentleman who challenged you. He turned out to be good. He turned out to be dead. He's so cool about everything. God, imagine hearing this over the phone. I would just be like, excuse me? Turned out to be dead. Someone hit him hard. You mean someone cracked that flawless bone china plate? It wasn't you, was it? Me? Please, the cops should be here any minute. I'm in your hands. Should it come to that? Bone china plate. A kind of porcelain, very smooth and shiny. Not plate, but pate. Oh. Oh, pate. Pate? Okay. The court appreciates the defendant's discretion in not indicating my forehead. Wait a second. Something's not right about that phone call. So after Mr. Gavin ate dinner with you, he left the Borscht Bowl Club? Most certainly. Then how did he know? When did he see this? Bone china plate. Pate. I've never heard the word pate before. Oh, that's right. Yes. That was when I began to see my good friend in a different light. So it is pate. You do pronounce it pate. Like the food. Just without the accent. Trouble. I returned to the crime scene. When I spotted Mr. Smith's head again, I realized exactly what was wrong. Well, Mr. Gavin, the stage has been set. Perhaps you would like to explain this to the court. Exactly how did you come by your privileged knowledge of the victim's head? So, this is your reason? The reason why you put the victim's hat back on? Your point, Mr. Gavin? It's come down to this, hasn't it? Mr. Phoenix. Oh, Phoenix, right. It was really clever. Phoenix is very clever. But we already know that Phoenix is really clever. Order. I will have order. Mr. Payne.
Yes, Your Honor.
I believe this court has been left with no other choice. Are you prepared to hear Defense Attorney Gavin's testimony?
Well, as the prosecutor, I...
Very well. We break for 10 minutes. Payne is just there. After which Mr. Gavin will take the stand for cross-examination. Are we all clear on that? Crystal clear, Your Honor. Very well. This will be the final recess for the day. 2:32 p.m. District Court. Defendant number. Miss Gavin and Mr. Wright are both in the judge's chamber. Would have thought that today would turn out like this. May I? Oh. What? Hello, sir. Please, pick a card. What's all this about? It's the Is this one okay? Excellent. I have a message for you. The last hand is about to be played. You'll need a trump card to make it. Ah, the turnabout trump. Blasphemous. No! The trump card. The card you have chosen is magical. It's magic! Use it wisely. That's all. Oh, hello. An ace of spades with some blood on it. Just what I wanted. Missing fifth ace. Wait, this blood's your friend. Is this blood? You have your trump card. Now it's up to you to cut the deck and draw the truth. My father's fate is in your hands. I know you can do it. Bye. This bloodstained card is my trump card for finding the truth. I fell deep into thought as my mind raced to understand what this all meant. That girl. I'd seen her recently, but where? That's when I made the connection with locket here. Evidence received from a mysterious girl. Oh, Kristoff isn't standing with me. I'm about to be examined. Court will now reconvene. Defense attorney Kristoff. Kristoff Gavin, will you please take the stand? No, if you would, Mr. Payne.
Yes, Your Honor. Will Mr. The witness state his name and occupation?
Is this farce necessary, Your Honor? Believe me, far stranger things have gone on in this courtroom. Fine, I'll play along. First, there's one thing we need to have been made clear. How did you know about the secret beneath the victim's hat? Yeah, poor Payne. It's fine, he's trying his best. By secret, I'm guessing you mean the fact that Mr. Smith was bald. Forgive my curiosity, but what is it about this fellow's head? Your Honor seems to have an inordinate interest in it. Phoenix's objection is the best. Oh baby, he's standing with me! I wouldn't call it inordinate. Mr. Gavin. Mr. Wright! What do you think you're doing, right? Wow, things sure look different from the other side. You know what I mean, Apollo? Speaking of looking from the other side, let's consider something for a second. What a segue! The victim wore that hat. Alright, all night. Never once taking it off, except for that one time. That one time being the instant he was hit. Oh! When Mr. Wright returned from reporting the crime, hat was lying on the floor. Mr. Wright picked it up and placed it on the victim's head. In other words, in order to have seen Mr. Smith's bald head, you would have had to be at the scene of the crime, at the time of the crime. In other words, you'd have to be the real killer, is what you're trying to say. Not bad, Apollo. Mr. Gavin, I'm afraid that I haven't been entirely honest with the court.
What?
Oh, I assure you, I have the noblest of intentions. I did it all to protect my client, Mr. Wright. Yet, I'm afraid in the current situation, I see little reason to hide anything. Very well, allow me to tell you the truth of what happened. Finally, you may begin your testimony. Tell us, how were you involved in the events that fateful night? The rage I sensed in that man that night troubled me, so I returned to the club. I went down to the basement and peeked in through the little window into the hideout. It must have been right after the murder took place. The victim was dead, as he appears in the photo. A bald head, an unconscious girl, and Wright, holding a bottle in his hand. I sensed that was not the best place for me to be at the time, and so I left. That's when the call came from Wright.
So, you witnessed the murder?
I'm liking it so far. For better or worse, I missed the actual moment of the deed. Mr. Gavin, may I remind you that you are on Mr. Wright's defense team. Your testimony is clearly disadvantageous to your client. What else can I say? I'm standing on the witness stand after all. So you are, Mr. Gavin. And you had to testify just as you did. You had to tell them you saw the scenes of the crime through that little window. Mr. Wright? You had to say that. Because that was the only probable window of opportunity. Right, Apollo? Oh. Mr. Wright, the defense should do the cross-examination, not the defendant. Mr. Justice, are you prepared? Yes, Your Honor. I can't believe I'm going up against Mr. Gavin. This trial is getting weirder and weirder. Returned to the club. I went down to the basement and peeked in through the little window to the hideout. Little window? I mean, I think I know which window I'm talking about. You mean the one used to keep watch up the stairs? Yeah, a relic of the ancient path. The black market used it, I believe. Oh, marketeers used it, I believe. Good tell. Why did you go through the trouble of peeking in through the window? Wouldn't it have been easier to just open the door and go into the room? I didn't want to upset Wright, you see. Upset Mr. Wright? Yes. What if my fears have been unfounded? I'd be walking in on their match. Bad form, to say the least. So far, everything you're saying makes sense. There's a lot in it. Those were the only 3 at the scene of the crime? Yes, as far as I saw.
Then we're back where we started. The killer was the defendant. Phoenix Wright. Who else could it have been? But why didn't you talk to the police?
2 reasons. First, I didn't actually witness the very moment of the crime. Second, my office was asked to defend me. Even after seeing what I had seen, I couldn't abandon my friend. There must have been someone else there at the moment of the crime. Justice. I just said I saw no one. Not a soul. But that goes against what Mr. Wright said! Ah, yes. It's mysterious 4th person. Who would conveniently be the real killer, I suppose. Glad to see we agree, Mr. Gavin. Let me pose a question. Tell me, what possible reason did the real killer have to swap cards in the victim's hand? Perhaps you can show us the reason why such a thing would be necessary. Can I show something? I can't find it myself. Remember, Apollo, the card that was swapped out was the 5th ace. 5th ace. Oh! It has blood on it. Well, Mr. Justice, the question of why the killer would swap out a card has been raised. Can you point to a reason? I mean, if the blood is important to the case and points to Christoph, then that's a valid reason. It's now or never. The defense would like to present evidence to the court. Evidence showing the reason why a card was swapped out. Then go ahead and point out your reason, Mr. Justice. Why did the killer take the 5th ace? Doesn't me having this card makes me it'll be like, oh, the killer took this ace, and then shows the ace, and they'll be like, why do you have that ace? And I'll be like, I don't know. The mysterious girl gave it to me? Question mark. My reason is this.
Is that an ace?
Why? It's got blood on it! Right next to the spade! What?
This is insane. Why wasn't I told about this? Why?
Could this be the missing 5th ace? Inconceivable. How could you? What are you doing with that card? Well, that's the thing. Why is Mr. Gavin so upset? It's just a fishy card from some fishy girl. Oh, that card? It's mine. That is, I picked it up at the Brush Bowl Club that night, after the murder occurred. I gave it to my daughter. Cards are a stock and trade after all. Objection! No, impossible. Unacceptable. Court can't accept this evidence. It's a fraud. A fraud? How can you be so sure? What? I would think the only person who could claim it was a fraud. Would be the one who took the real card from the crime scene. The real killer! Allow me to elaborate. What if this trace of blood was the reason? The reason for? For the killer to take the card from the scene of the crime. Where are you going with this? Take another look at the photo, and at the victim's head. At the moment of the crime, his hat fell onto the floor, and a trickle of blood ran from his forehead down the back of his head. Couldn't a drop of that blood have fallen on one of the cards? I suppose the killer then took the card to hide the blood. Regardless, that evidence is non-permissible. Oh? Right, regardless of how you wasted the last 7 years, you used to be a lawyer. You know what a serious crime is. It is to conceal evidence. Oh, we can discuss the finer points of our legal system later. What's important is now I've answered your question. Well, what are you talking about? Right, don't care. You wanted to know why the killer would have taken a card from the crime scene. And now, I've told you. Who cares about Gan? He's in prison, okay? Ace Attorney 1 spoilers. One drop of blood would have been decisive evidence, you see. This is baseless conjecture. Baseless! Oh, there's the point! Oh, I assure you, it's quite based. What? It's amazing, really, how a single drop of blood on a single card can lead to the truth. It's quite simple. Well, Apollo? Yes? Try picturing the scene of the crime. In your head. Alright, going into Apollo's head. Oh, we actually are going into Apollo's head, okay. Whoa, these 3D effects, bro! Whoa! The murder took place in the hideout. The power... The body of the luckless victim was found on the poker table. And, before the killer swapped a card out, there was a single card with a drop of blood on it in the victim's hand. Given this, There is one decisive problem with the scene. Well, what is it? Let's keep it simple, shall we? Given that there was a drop of blood on a card, whose position in this diagram doesn't fit? The victims, the killers, the witnesses, the second witnesses? I mean, if the card was on the table, right? Then the victim should have been like bent over for it to, or like he should have been in a different position basically for the blood to hit the card that was on the table before it was swapped out. So I think it's the victim. Making sure that this is choosing the victim. Well, isn't it the victim's position that's the problem? I don't follow your logic here, Mr. Justice. Well, look, the victim was struck on the head, sitting him back in his chair. I think that any blood would fall behind the body, not onto the table in front of him. Yes. Ah! Take a look at the photo again. If he bled in this position, the blood would fall on the floor, not on the cards. Why, that's right. So, what does this mean? Incidentally, we were sitting in swivel chairs. Swivel chairs? Oh, man. Apollo, try turning the chair around. That was cool. The chair was facing the other way. It would have to be. Yeah, it's cool. The victim's chair was facing away from the table. It's cool animations. Better animations than Zero Time Dilemma had. The victim's chair was facing away from the table. When Mr. Wright returned from informing the police, which way was the chair facing? Look, I love Zero Time Dilemma, but you know what I'm talking about. When I came back to the room, the body was facing as seen in this photo. Okay. That would mean the killer turned the chair back around. Right, to hide evidence of the blood dripping onto the table. Alright. Take the next step. Look at the diagram once more. We now know that the victim was facing away from the table at the time of the murder, but this creates another significant contradiction.
Again?
Let's test your reasoning skills again, shall we? Apollo, whose location on this diagram contradicts our new understanding of the crime? She was passed out. Christoph was looking in. I think Apollo's thinking pose. Yeah, I like it. See, the killer must have struck him on the front of the forehead, right? That's where the blow was. But Christoph didn't. He said he didn't see the decisive blow, but he also was the one who committed the murder. So I think so. Yeah, the killer would have to have hit him from the front. And they can't hit him from the front there unless they have stupid long arms. What? 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 What did Omega do? I can't see Omega in chat. Oh, oh. Oh, okay, okay. Okay. I was like, why are you guys just shouting at Omega? I think that's what they want me to say here. Because I can't think of anything, but the witness was passed out, right? Oh no, she wasn't passed out at this moment. No, she was. Christoph came in and saw the scene. Yeah, I think it's the killer. Because he was hit from the front. And the position that he's in makes that impossible. Unless he has very long arms and reached around, or he ricocheted it off the wall. The victim was struck from the front, correct? Okay. Indeed. Well, wouldn't it be hard for the killer to hit him on the front? Sitting where his indicator currently is? I would think it'd be quite hard, yes. Sorry, I forgot you were here.
Yes, but what you're saying makes no sense. Why would the victim suddenly turn to face the wall in the middle of a game?
I believe a sufficient reason will soon come to light.
What?
There's something in this diagram that makes far less sense, actually. Oh, really? Look again at this diagram. Apollo, if the victim was struck while he was sitting as shown here, where would his assailant be standing? What? But there's no... That's what I was gonna say. He's supposed to be in front of him. There's no room to put a mark where the killer should be. Don't worry. Let's think it through and see what we find. We know that the victim was facing towards the wall at the time of the crime. It's the only thing we know for sure. Try to forget about everything else. Try to forget that there's no space. You want me to choose here? Is where would the killer have to be standing? He would have to be standing there. Okay. I'm gonna trust in Phoenix, because I always trust in Phoenix. And he always pulls... Well, I mean, I controlled Phoenix. But he's always pulled through for me. The killer had to be standing... Well, here.
You get points for flat, but that's about all you get.
Thought I was onto something there, too. Oh, did I get it wrong? Oh, no. I got it right. Yeah.
I hardly need to point out that standing there would be impossible. Victim is facing a solid cupboard. Or are you claiming that the killer climbed the cupboard and hit him from above? Ha!
Jumped out of the cupboard. It's simple logic, really. If this was the only place the killer could have been standing, then that means that, at the very moment of the crime... Wait, I know! At the moment of the crime, the cupboard wasn't there! What's this now? They changed the scene of the crime around. I mean, that's the only explanation, right, Mr. Gavin? Your Honor, I have a suggestion for the defense. Okay, so he changed the scene of the crime around. Phoenix. I mean, Apollo thought of it too, but interesting. Okay, we should arrange to examine the cupboard in the hideout immediately. Bailiff, send a team to the crime scene immediately. Have them try to move the cupboard. Ah, Your Honor. What? There's one more thing in your mention. Look, please give this to the bailiff. What is it? Yes, I see. You do belong in the courtroom after all, Mr. Wright. I do my best. Wait, no! Tell me what it was! No! Why would you debate me like that? I know it was paper, what was on it? Let's forge ahead here while we wait. Phoenix Phoenix. Phoenix handed the judge a piece of paper and said, give them this too. And the judge was like, I see. And now we're moving on from it. Let's forge ahead here while we wait. Look at the diagram once again. It's been changed. The killer was standing here at the time of the crime, and this cupboard wasn't here. Which means, Apollo, try moving the cupboard. It blocks the window. So he couldn't have seen. Okay, I get it. Kristoff couldn't have seen anything if it was blocking the window. Thank you. As you can see, the cupboard was the problem. At the time of the murder, it has to have been shown here. Now everything is in place to reconstruct the moment of the crime. Oh my, what's this? What is it now? Look at the diagram of the crime scene once more. It appears we found yet another contradiction. What I believe to be the final contradiction, in fact. Yes, I love him. Huh? Oh dang! Notice something. Apollo? Our line of deduction is rapidly approaching its logical conclusion. Now then, Mr. Justice, please point to the new contradicting error. Is it the victim, the killer, the witness, the second witness? Which indicator in this diagram contradicts what we know about the crime? Oh, it's gotta be this. About this cupboard. Are we all okay with assuming it was moved? Sure, why not? Well, if it was, something really doesn't quite fit. The cupboard would completely cover up the window to the stairs. Ah. That's right. Someone standing outside wouldn't be able to be seen in. Someone like Mr. Gavin. What? What did you say? Oh? Is the coolest defense in the West losing is cool? Don't expect me to play along with your little game, right? It's only a game until someone gets killed, Mr. Gavin. Oh, what a comeback. And someone was. Well, the window to that room was blocked by a cupboard. He's so cool! So, Mr. Gavin, perhaps you'd like to explain to the court. Exactly! Where did you witness that crime scene from? I love when Phoenix points and stuff. Excuse me, Your Honor. That was quick. They're already back. Order. This is a court of law, and I will have order. We just now received word from our investigative team at the Borscht Bowl Club. They've examined the cupboard in the hideout, Your Honor. Oh, and what did they find? Well, Your Honor, turns out there is a secret passage behind it. Boy, what? Ah, yes. I believe I mentioned something of the sort. This is one of the tricks to the room many of our regulars know about. I do remember him saying something about that, now that he mentions it. A secret passage is a handy thing to have when you're engaged in illegal goings-on. You never know when you might need to duck away from the eyes of the law. So the room has a secret passage. Where does it go? The other side connects to the restaurant above. The underworld bosses could get away from the cops and enjoy a cold bowl of lunch, no doubt. Just like our killer. You see where our line of simple deductive reasoning has led us, Apollo? I see it, but I don't believe it. That girl wasn't kidding when she said I needed this trump card for the last hand. At the time of the murder, the window was blocked, and the victim's hat was only off his head for the few minutes between Mr. Smith's murder and Mr. Wright's return from calling the cops. In other words, the only place anyone could have seen the victim's bald head was from inside the hideout. Well, Mr. Gavin? Come on, say something! Dare I ask what really happened that night? Actually, I think we can probably figure it out by ourselves at this point. That night, for whatever reason, our killer had a date with Mr. Smith. A date with destiny. There he crouched, hidden in the secret passageway behind the cupboard, holding his breath, waiting for just the right moment. Then the chance came, and he took it. Oh! What? Why did you do that? Wait here, I'll get help. Miss Olga Orley was out cold, struck by Mr. Smith. But his time was soon to come. Mr. Wright went upstairs to call the cops, leaving Mr. Shady Smith alone in the hideout with the unconscious dealer. Then our killer stepped outside from a secret passage and into the hideout. That victim must have heard the cupboard sliding aside. He wheeled his chair around to look, and after the deed was done, the criminal must have seen the blood on the card. Would have, of course, realized the need to destroy the evidence. A single spot of blood told the whole story of the crime. Too bad for him he didn't linger any longer in the hideout that night. If he had, he might have noticed the cards on the floor. And the fact that they were all red! We got him! Well, it seems this trial has taken yet another turn. I'm truly sorry I had to see this day come, Mr. Gavin. Mr. Gavin? Mr. Payne!
Yeah, yes, Your Honor.
The prosecution will continue its investigation. As for Mr. Phoenix Wright, the defendant, he is hereby cleared of all suspicion.
Wah!
Believe me when I say that I don't believe this is happening, Mr. Gavin, but I'm afraid circumstances call for me to issue a warrant for your arrest. Immediately! Oh, he's not done! He's not done! Oh, no need to apologize. I rather enjoyed myself. It's not every day you get to witness a legendary attorney's dirty tactics firsthand. Your point, Mr. Gavin? Frankly, Your Honor, I'm shocked that a person of your caliber would be taken in by such a low-grade parlor trick. Excuse me? The defendant is cleared of all suspicion. This is hardly the time for jokes, Your Honor. Mr. Wright hasn't proven anyone's guilt or innocence here. What he has done is use illegal evidence to put the blame on someone else. Not just anyone else, but me, his own defense attorney. Illegal evidence? Let me ask you, Mr. Gavin, is there still any reason, at present, to suspect me of wrongdoing? Of course. This bottle, for instance. The bottle of grape juice Mr. Wright was drinking. How do you intend to explain away the fingerprints on the murder weapon? Still don't know where the 5 of hearts went. And not just any fingerprints. Am I right, Mr. Payne?
Actually, yes, the fingerprints on the bottle were upside down.
I seem to recall this being an issue earlier. The court, in this case, demand an explanation. I can only think of one reason why one would hold a bottle upside down. And that is to hit someone with the bottom of the bottle. Well, Your Honor. See how we caught. Oh, sorry, wrong voice. See how we caught fish squirms to the last. See how the court fish squirms to the last. Can't speak. Well, Apollo. Yes. Your boss seems awfully concerned about this bottle stuff, but I'm sure you can come up with a suitable explanation, just like that. Yeah. Why would anyone grab a bottle upside down other than to? Don't let him trick you into thinking his explanation. It's the only legitimate. Is there really another? Take another look at the court record. I believe you'll find a simple answer there, in plain sight. In plain sight, Phoenix? Care to point out where the plain sight is? What? The badge is in plain sight. When in doubt, just show badge. I'm a lawyer. Ooh. Oh, look at this again. I like the way Phoenix is looking at me. Like, you can do it, buddy. Can I do it? Can't read anything. Where did the card go? Chat! Stop! I'm not actually asking the question. Now it's an emote only. That's okay. You guys can just tell point. You can't badge or inquisitive boy in emote only. Unless you're a mod or a VIP. I was fine with this case was going so well, and now I'm actually stuck. Traveler? You already used the autopsy report. Really, nothing on this? Not examine it anymore. Why do you have to grab this upside down? The bottle's here. I mean, he could have grabbed He could have grabbed these ones upside down. Because of the way that they're placed. Could have just grabbed it. It's gone like this. Okay, yeah, I have a bottle here. Yeah, it's like easier to just grab it like this, right? I think. Alright, let's just see. How about you just say the answer in plain words, right? It would be hasty to deliver a verdict with unanswered questions. Indeed. Well, Mr. Justice, Mr. Gavin said that the court in this case demand an explanation. Don't worry, justice won't leave until justice is done. Perhaps the defense would care to enlighten the court. What evidence do you have to explain why the fingerprints in the bottle are upside down? This is the best thing that I can come up with. That because of the way that the bottles are placed, it's just easier to grab them upside down, especially if they're heavy, than to bend it down and pick it up from the bottom, especially if they're in that box. It's actually easier to show you than explain, Your Honor. Did I get it right? Place that bottle on the floor next to your chair. Oh my god, my test actually helped me! I'm so glad I kept this bottle and didn't recycle it yet. Excuse me, on the floor. Yes, now reach down and pick it up. Without getting out of your chair. Ah. See? You naturally go to pick up the bottle by its neck. With your fingers upside down. Look at this photograph taken on the night of the murder. The defendant, Mr. Wright, sat here, playing piano, bottles of grape juice on the floor, by the side of his piano bench. He would have naturally picked up the bottle upside down several times. Wow, I can't believe it was just that simple. Recall our dinner that evening, Christoph. I was drinking my usual juice then, too. Basically, you used the bottle on the table to do the deed, but then you must have remembered. So you went and picked up one of the bottles from under the piano, and you switched out the bottles. You took one of Mr. Wright's bottles and made it look like the murder weapon. Order! 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 What do you have to say to these charges, Mr. Gavin? Fascinating. So this is the legendary attorney's famed tactic of misdirection. What? You claim that I switched the bottle? Where is your proof? Proof? Well, that's, as I thought, more baseless conjecture. I'm afraid your bottle of proof is quite empty. I wouldn't be so sure about that, Your Honor. When you initiated the investigation of the hideout earlier, do you recall that I requested an additional investigation? Ah, yes! I have your memo about that here. Retrieve the bottle from under the piano at the Borscht Boat Club. Ah, and here's one of the bottles in question. What are you going? What, are you gonna dust for that for fingerprints too? Wouldn't be surprised if any were on that but his. Mr. Gavin probably wouldn't make such a novice mistake true. That bottle won't bear a trace of anything. Say, Apollo. Yes? Why don't you go ahead and examine that bottle? But why? Just humor me. Mr. Wright, that bottle will solve this case once and for all. Does this have the 5 of hearts in it? What? It's some bottle. There's something inside the bottle! That animation. What's this? That card. It can't be! Recall that unpleasant woman's testimony for a moment. Miss Olga Early? Oh, sorry, oh really? Yes, our little swindling Devochka? That night, I planted the card like I was supposed to, and Wright lost the last hand, just like he was supposed to. Then Smith searched him, but the planted card was gone. The trap failed. Oh, wait, this isn't... You're telling me that this is the planted card you disposed of? The one you mentioned in this piece of testimony? I happened to put my hand in my pocket and found the card. Yes, I snuck a peek at it and found it was the 5 of hearts. I had a feeling something might happen, so I disposed of the card before the game. Be sensible, Nesta. Disposed? Where? There was an empty bottle of grape juice I had been drinking right beside me. I threw the card inside the bottle. Five of hearts. This is the card. The bottles were swapped. I'm the only one who could have done it. Fourth person in the club that night. You, Mr. Christoph Gavin! Oh, he's angry. Yes, telekinesis. That is all. What's up, Pan? Oh, he's... Is your idea of revenge? Phoenix Wright. Revenge? Revenge for the events that took away your attorney's badge 7 years ago? My past is like my logic. Straight and true. Nothing's changed. All I did was point the finger of justice. Proper direction. Fine. I'm glad we could have this little tete-a-tete. Right.
This is insane. What about me? Don't I get to prosecute anyone?
Oh, poor Payne. Just standing there, being like, I'm here too, guys. Hi, Pan. I believe this time we've finally come to the end of our trial. Mr. Payne, do you have a report for us on Christoph Gavin?
He's admitted everything. We're processing his arrest now.
I see. Still, one has to wonder why he would do such a thing. I didn't want to say it, but I thought that Payne, there was going to be a moment where Payne, you know, remember in when we had that past case with Mia, and then Payne just lost all of his hair. I thought that was going to happen again. He didn't even have a connection to the victim, did he?
None that we know of.
Mr. Wright, do you have anything to add? I'm afraid I can't shed any more light on it. About this victim, Mr. Shady Smith. His occupation was listed as traveler. Not professional, to be sure, and that's all we know about him.
I'll arrange a follow-up investigation, Your Honor.
Good. Mr. Wright? Yes. 7 years, and you still haven't lost your touch. Christoph Gavin was a man with much significance for me, both as a friend and a lawyer. He was extremely talented, to be sure. I needed 2 things before I could confront him. First was a place where no injustice could be tolerated, this court. The second was a man who could tolerate no injustice. In other words, a defense attorney. You, Apollo. Me? A dark time is coming for our legal system. A twisting of justice brought on by our very own court system. We have to set it right. Mr. Wright. Our work lies ahead of us, and I, for one, am looking forward to it. Well, this seems like a good time to announce a verdict. This court finds the defendant, Mr. Phoenix Wright, guilty. Hey! It's beautiful confetti. Court is adjourned. GG. Thanks, Apollo. I hope he sticks around. I'd love to hammer him around as my mentor for the game. But I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. You came through, just like I thought you would. Pretty sure I didn't do a thing in there. It was you who cornered Mr. Gav, the killer. Couldn't have done it by myself. You sensed it too, today, didn't you? Your ability. Ability? Yes, a sensitivity I like. You'll come to understand it soon enough. Wait, I wonder if he means... yeah, that thing with the eye. What's that? Mr. Wright. You'll have to find the answer to that question yourself. The answer? Right. The day was full of questions without answers. Most of them about Mr. Gavin. What possible reason could he have to commit murder? Perhaps you'll learn that in the days to come. Huh? Wait, you don't know, do you? This locket is the key. Huh? Oh, that reminds me. I met the girl whose picture is in your locket. This is who I think it is. Your daughter, right? That's right. She's my daughter. You know, you were right about this locket. I took this off his neck the night he died. But it looks like our dear Russian scam artist saw me. So the truth is, this locket really did belong to me. Wait, but that's perjury! You testified. You said that locket was yours! I said no such thing, actually. Huh? I merely said that it was a locket with my daughter's picture inside. A subtle distinction, but a distinction nonetheless. And it's the truth. Wait. But then, why? Why was the victim wearing a locket with a picture of your daughter in? Oh, why was the victim wearing a locket with a picture of your daughter inside it? Sometimes, the straightest path, the truth, isn't the best. Give it time. You're still just getting started with your career. Speaking of which, I may be out of a job. I work for Gavin Law Offices after all. Still can't believe I just saw Mr. Gavin get led away in handcuffs. Apollo. Yes? How about coming to work for me? Huh? You mean at the Writing Co. Law Offices? I mean, there's not a single attorney in my generation that doesn't know it. I can't imagine that to be true, but... Wait, but didn't you... You're not a... Oh, I turned in my badge, yes. I'm not an attorney anymore. I don't care, I get to work with Phoenix. I'm so happy. That incident 7 years ago. A legendary trial. And at the middle of it all was one man. Phoenix Wright. The case reached its sad conclusion, and he left law for good. Interesting. Have you ever thought about coming back to the courts? I'm not qualified to stand in a court of law, I'm afraid. Didn't you notice in today's trial, there was a single piece of forged evidence? Forged evidence? What are you talking about? Talking about the evidence that shouldn't have existed. Naughty magician's trick. Oh, was it the card? Did he... Oh. Piece of evidence struck me as odd. It's true. It seemed too perfect. But this was the forged evidence. It must be the card. You mean this, don't you? I got this from your daughter, Mr. Wright. Yes, that card couldn't have been found at the crime scene. Why? Because the killer took it with him when he left, leaving the wrong card in its place, luckily. Court can't accept this evidence. It's a fraud. A fraud? How can you be so sure? I would think the only person who could claim it was a fraud would be the one who took the real card from the crime scene. The real killer. What a bluff. My verdict was already handed down 7 years ago. Then, you really? Yes, I forged this card. One look at the crime scene should have told you it wasn't real. But you can't do something like that and call yourself an attorney. He's calling himself an attorney. Apollo. So it's true. The rumor is true. 7 years ago. And if that matters much now, does it? What happened? Oh, you punched him! It's your story from here on out, Apollo. Perhaps I can help you turn the next page. My office's address. Drop in, if you'd like. What does he do now? I mean, he said he was a poker player for 7 years, but I don't know. Mr. Wright. Oh, about your uppercut. Try yellow. Take that next time. I find it packs a little more punch. And Apollo, thanks for today. I had a good time. With that, Mr. Wright walked out the door. And that's how my first trial ended. A lot of mysteries went unsolved. And at the time, I had no idea they were all related. Every mystery that day, connected by a single thread of logic. I'd find that out soon enough. My name is Apollo Justice, attorney at law. And this is how my story begins. What a beginning, dude! That's definitely my favorite chapter 1 so far. Oof. Oh, baby. What was it? Turnabout corner. More? Nah, it's midnight. It's a good time to stop. No, I learned my lesson. Although when we previewed 1-4, that was pretty crazy. but no, we're not doing any more previews. No, I learned my lesson. I think that reaction clip is still somewhere out there. It's still really cool. That was really good. That was really fun. I hope the rest of the game keeps going with that, because that was great. I'm so happy Phoenix is in the game. Well, let's go back and then play some music. It was a long case 1, yeah. I was expecting to do case 1 and then get halfway through case 2 and then finish case 2 tomorrow. That was the aim, but I don't think that's good. I don't think it's gonna happen. I don't think I'm gonna be able to finish case 2. Well, unless we do a really long session tomorrow, but yeah. It's cool. I get to play it again on my actual DS. Maybe I'll just do that before bed. No, you're good, Gab. No worries. Do I think I'm gonna analyze case 1? I mean, I'm gonna do it offline, so I'm not gonna do it on stream. Well, I'm gonna try to and see if I can get it up going for tomorrow. But yeah, that's the plan. We'll see. I'll see how it looks. I might rush through it. I might look at things in more detail, because I guess I haven't replayed the game. But yeah, you guys are great. Thank you for watching. I had such a blast. Oh my god. It's been 6 months. I forgot how much I missed Ace Attorney. It's such a fun game.